O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Yes, sir. Good morning. Welcome aboard to a Thursday edition of the show. As we get ready for a little Dolphins football this weekend. We got a little Inter-Miami soccer on Friday. A baseball team called the Marlins, I think, is playing. All kinds of good stuff. So we got a lot of things going on the program. Always appreciate all of you chiming in. Added a new feature to the show also today. We got a text line now. We're going to add a text line to all of this, give you guys an opportunity, because sometimes people are a little uncomfortable on YouTube, and sometimes they just want to get their opinion and don't want to have the other people jamming on their opinion or whatever and those kind of things. So we now have a text line. You'll see it under right there. It is scrolling. Catch it right there. You got the email, of course. You got the text. There you go right there, baby. So text at 855-912-1056. For those of you on the podcast, 855-912-1056. If you want to send me a text any time of the day or night, we will have it always available to all of you, because we have people listening to the show at all times of the day and night. Morning and afternoon drives seem to be really like the peak times throughout the week. That's when it's like morning drive, there's a monster spike. Afternoon drive, there's an enormous spike. And our afternoon drives go all the way up until like 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night is when it starts to slow down a little bit because of the West Coast, actually. So it's interesting. So a lot of the people that are out there and they may not be listening to the show live, another way that they can contact us is by the text line now. So obviously you have the YouTube page, which we've got all of our listeners that are on there right now on the YouTube page. Always appreciate all of you out there as always. And I see Steve Chapman claimed his King of the Hill prize at 7:29 a.m., being number one on the chat board. And of course, on the text line now, 855-912-1056. It's easy because I can remember, at least at some of these numbers. It's not too difficult, right? 912-1056. It's kind of easy. So 855-912-1056. That way you guys can reach out to us anytime you want. Appreciate it as always. And of course, Twitter, Big O Show, and Yahoo email, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. Appreciate those of you that reach out there as always. And Carrillo says, Big O, love the lack of respect being shown to our Finns. Let us be the AFC sleeper cell. Hit them. Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. That's all. That's fine. It's all good, man. It's fun to be underestimated, and I think a lot of us locally see what's not locally. I mean, everywhere. If you follow the Dolphins wherever you're at in Singapore and you're in Indonesia, it doesn't matter. If you watch it every day, you know what I'm talking about. If you watch the team, if you follow, you read the coverage, all that kind of stuff, you follow our show, I think you get a realistic view of where your team is at. So it doesn't matter if you're, with my guy JG up in Malaysia, or if you're up in Canada, wherever you're at, in Mexico, in the Bahamas, in the beautiful Bahamas, and we've got listeners all over the place. You know the Dolphins are up and coming, and it's just that's fine. Let them live on history, and they will pay the price, ladies and gentlemen. They will pay the price, which is a beautiful thing. Let's see, we got a loaded show for you today. Lisa Johnson's going to join us at the bottom of the hour from Our Turf Football. She covers the Dolphins on a daily basis. She does an excellent job, as always. She knows her team really well. Love talking football with Lisa. So we'll have some fun with her at 10:30. 12:15, it is our adreamlending.com Miami Dolphins weekly report with Joe Shad. So Joe will join us from camp at 12:15. We'll get the latest on what's going on at Dolphins camp. 12:40, Michelle Kaufman's going to stop by. We'll talk a little Inter-Miami football with Michelle Kaufman, as the soccer team is red hot, dude, right now. They are fighting for a playoff spot. They are in the playoff mix, which is a beautiful thing. So I love that. And they ended up getting a title sponsor for their jerseys. XBTO, a crypto finance company. It's funny. It's great because, like how they underestimate the Dolphins, so many people in this world are underestimating crypto, right? It's the same thing. Oh, the internet, it'll never make it. Oh, come on, a plane flying, the Wright brothers are crazy, yada, 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 right? It'll never catch on. The cell phone, oh, come on, that's a fad. That won't have beepers. Come on, that's no, and this is the way it is, right? All these new inventions, email, people were afraid. They didn't even come close to a computer. You had people that thought the computer was a disease. What do you mean email? And now you can't live without email, right? I mean, you got to get email for something. You're paying bills on the internet now, right? So I love how people have also underestimated crypto, which is great because those of us that got in a little earlier, we're going to benefit from it in the end. You know what I mean? But it's just like you see it all over the place, arenas, on the umps. You see on the front of these jerseys. It's funny to me how, when I catch the ignorance, because really that's what it is. It's fear and ignorance, because as human beings, sometimes a lot of us have problems with change. And listen, I've noticed it in my business. In my business, we went from taking your faxes. I know I'm old, but when we started doing radio at the barn at QAM in the early 90s, there was a fax. That's what you did from the early 90s to the almost late 90s. Yeah, almost pretty much that entire decade, because even though computers started becoming more prominent in the mid 90s, email wasn't there yet. We had to get to the 2000s to get to the email. And then that scared the shit out of people. And then we had social media, right? Oh, social media, that's a fad. That won't last. And where's social media now? You know what I mean? Businesses depend on social media. So you know what I mean? So it's funny how, and if you don't change with the times in our business, if you didn't learn email, if you didn't learn how to communicate on social media and connect with your audience, you were going to die by the wayside. If you didn't learn how to use a damn computer, you're going to die by the wayside in our business. That's just kind of the way it is. And I've seen hosts who did not adjust and they got old. You know what I mean? And you've got to change with the times. And this old fart changes with all the times. And look where we're at now. It's everything's changed, man. Everything's different. But you've got to be able to, it doesn't mean that you can't reach people, but it's a different way of reaching people because people are communicating in different ways. And so I laugh because I keep seeing crypto become a bigger part of society. And those people that are still walking around going, yeah, that's fake. That's a Ponzi scheme, this and that, you know, those are usually old farts, right? That are set in their ways and they're too lazy to learn anything else. So they just diss it because, you know, they'd rather use ignorance than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got our first text already. Love it. Happy Thursday, Big O. I'm starting my countdown return back to South Florida on the 28th for the Colts week. G from Pennsylvania. Thank you, G. Appreciate you, man. There you go. G from Pennsylvania. First text of the show. So nice job by you, G. Now you know you were the first to start the text line there, which is always a beautiful thing. Robert Mesa says, I remember Neil complaining about people sending pages and pages and wasting all his fax paper. Remember that? You got to adjust, baby. You got in life, you got to adjust. And so there you go. It's that's pretty cool. I was tripping out when I saw that announcement by Inter Miami. And tomorrow, by the way, they host the Red Bulls of New York. They're at the stadium at Drive Pink Stadium. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully they can get another victory. I don't care how they get it. Doesn't matter to me, okay? I know they got lucky this week because clearly, okay, they scored on that goal. But, you know, whatever. If they couldn't notice it or figure out that it was a goal, which it was clearly a goal, like it was obvious as hell. I'll take the break, bro. You guys want to play three blind mice? I'm good. I'd rather have Inter Miami win. This is one hell of a run by them also. So their Jersey partner, XBTO, crypto finance company, and their headquarters are here in Miami. And thanks to, you know, our mayor, I know some of you don't care because you don't follow crypto, but I'm glad that Suarez wants to make Miami a crypto hub. One, it'll bring more jobs to us here in South Florida because there's a lot of young people are into crypto. They understand what's coming. You know what I mean? It's funny because old people don't understand that they've kind of been in a crypto forever. It's called credit cards. So digital currency is nothing new, but it's just going to be a different look to it. You know what I mean? It's a different branch of digital currency, but you've been doing some sort of digital currency with credit cards for many years. In a way, checks are also somewhat of a digital currency because it's really not the bills. None of those things are bills. They're actually papers and plastic that you would use in place of money. And it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. I like what I saw yesterday because it just kind of continues the trend that people aren't getting with crypto. But anyway, good stuff there. Appreciate all of you out there as always, keeping it locked. Remember to join us tomorrow. We're at Caneswear in Davie, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Great time to come by, get any Canes gear for the game this weekend, and get some Dolphins gear, man. They've got plenty of Dolphins gear too. So you want to pick up a hat or a shirt or something for the game against the Bills. You're going to go to a bar like Sports Grill in Miami Lakes on Sunday and join us for some great wings and hanging out and all that good stuff. Come on by. Let's go. Join us. Damn, you guys are bombarding us now with text. Thank you. Thank you all out there. I will read your text in a minute, okay? Just give me a second here. So Please join us tomorrow at Canesworth, 2511 South University Drive-In, Davie, starting off at 10 a.m. Let's see. I know that we'll have Ira Winderman. We'll have tomorrow Omar Kelly, and we'll have also Manny Navarro, and maybe somebody else will join us tomorrow. You never know, but tomorrow we're absolutely freaking loaded tomorrow on the program, which is really, really cool. And then Sunday we'll be out in Miami Lakes at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Even if you're going to the game, after the game, shoot on over. It's 15 minutes away, man. You go south right there on 27th, which is University, and you get to the Palmetto, and you go west on the Palmetto, and you get off on 154th. 15 minutes, you're there, man. So come on out and join us. You can have some delicious wings, which are absolutely awesome. So there you go. NorCal reminds Jamie Zorria and everybody there's a Dolphin watch party at Bogey's Pizza in San Jose, California on Sunday. You can say hi to Jim and Andrew for me from Finlaw. They are there. How about that, NorCal? NorCal knows about every bar, every Dolphin bar in the country, okay? NorCal has had a beer in every Dolphin bar in the country. That's a beautiful thing. And don't forget, folks, when you send in a text on the YouTube page, when you send in an email on the email at Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com, or now on the text line at 855-912-1056, please tell me where you're coming from, where you're watching the show, where you're listening to the show from. Always love to see and find out where our listeners and our amazing supporters, because without you all, there's no way we can grow, and you're just helping us grow every single day, and I thank you for that, and I'm going to work my ass off to make sure that we give you guys the best talk show, that every time you tune in, you can find out about your Marlins and your Canes and your Heat and the Dolphins, of course, and Inter Miami. So, and the Florida Panthers. So we're always going to be a locally focused type of show. Yes, we will talk about some of the national stories that are, interesting to most people in general, but obviously it's always going to be centered mostly around South Florida sports. So I can't say enough about all of you out there and the way you are helping us out. Big O, is it true that the game is being blacked out? Well, I had no idea about that. I would be lying to you if I told you I knew or didn't know of. Well, I'm actually telling you I don't know anything about this. This is the first time I heard about this. I did not know that it could be blacked out. That's kind of weird that it would be blacked out, because usually most of these games are pretty sold out. In a Bills game, you would also think even locally Bills fans would buy tickets already. That's weird. I did not hear about that. Is that in the local papers? Because I was on the local papers today. I didn't see anything about a blackout, man. I mean, especially a guy like Barry Jackson, who has to write like 87 articles a day for the team. I don't see anything here on the headlines. At least I don't see anything on the headlines that says that the game could be blacked out, my brother. I am not sure. I don't want to tell you no because I don't know. And I don't want to tell you yes because I don't know. So I'm sorry, my brother. I got to look it up and see if there's any truth to that. But it doesn't sound right, man. So Tuttle's out. San Jose, the home of Kimba Beaucamper. Kimba. You mean Kim. Oh, you're talking about San Jose State. That's what you're talking about. Yes, Tuttle, you are correct. Kim Beaucamper went to San Jose State. Yes. I'm not going to call Kim Kimba. That's not, no. I don't need Kim kicking my ass, okay? Big O, I recently moved to Houston from Miami. Love your show. It keeps me close to home. Have you heard of any Dolphin bar in Houston? Well, Romelu, let's ask NorCal. NorCal, you're on the chat board, my brother. Can we help our guy here, Romelu? Is there a Dolphin bar in Houston? I just pumped you up, bro, so you cannot make me look bad now. All right, NorCal? So tell my guy Romelu here and everybody else, where is there a Dolphin bar in Houston? Because we have Dolphin bars everywhere in the world. We are everywhere in the world. Okay? I love when people say that our fan base isn't passionate. I laugh at that because I've been dealing with our fan base for 30 years now. And luckily, the last 20, I've gotten a good taste of fans all over the world because we've had, again, going back to our initial conversation, the internet, which has bridged the gap and has made our communities, our world communities, that much smaller now and that more tight knit. And I laugh because I know there's a ton of passionate Dolphin fans all over the world. In London alone, you have a maniacal group of Dolphin fans out there, and a lot of them. You know what I mean? Go to Mexico, and you have a ton of crazy fans for the Miami Dolphins. So it's just, and not just locally and everything else. Richard McLean says sold out. So yeah, that doesn't make sense, man. After normally they haven't had a blackout in forever. That's another thing that they get the support no matter what, even through the tough years overall. That stadium, usually has a good amount of fans. Now, just be glad you're not going by the Canes. Now that would be blacked out constantly because you're not going to get a sold out stadium there unless the opposing team's fans load it up. Let's see. What else do we have here? NorCal says, no Houston bars that I've heard of, but I'm always listening for one. Rosendo says, I got you covered, NorCal. All right, there you go. Big O, I think NorCal knows the bars around the Bay Area in California, but he might surprise us. Texas Brotherhood should know about Houston. Now, NorCal, remember, he's like the president of all the Dolphin clubs. And this maniac has been all over in every city. Okay, every NFL city he's probably been to with the Dolphins. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's been to most of the Dolphin bars all across the country. NorCal is as dedicated as it gets, dude. Game is on Channel 7, home of Rick Sanchez and Sally Does It Fit. I'm sorry, Fitz. You put on a Dolphins jersey, you drive to a bar, and you make it a damn Dolphins bar. Fins up. That's what Daniel Grafton says. Damn right, you do that. Except in Philadelphia, where they'll kill you. There's no Dolphin fans listening to us and watching from Philadelphia, right? Like, they don't even want to admit that they're Dolphin fans, right? Because over there, they muerte you when you admit that you're a fan of another team, right? Isn't it something like that? Isn't that what goes on? Let's see. Big O, what is your prediction for the Michigan State game Saturday? There's a huge game for Manny, who I believe is way over his head. None of it matters anymore, dude. None of it matters anymore. And I would say Michigan State wins the game. I'm definitely going to bet Michigan State. I'm going to take the points, unfortunately. I don't, Miami can win, but they're not going to win by 6.5. They're not going to win by 7 points. Big O Hall of Fame Steve D here in Canton, Ohio. Used to text you at QAM and Onside, but do not do it on YouTube because I'm at work and don't want to get caught, because getting paid and listening to the Big O show is something you can't find in any other job. Go Dolphins. So thank you, Stevie D. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for keeping it locked here. See, that's why I came up with the text line. I think it's important to have the text line because the first go around, we use it on Onside, but the first go around with the podcast, the text line was smoking. I mean, it was constantly used all day, all night. And so it was a great way of connecting with people. You've got to create avenues to connect with people. I know in regular radio, they don't give a shit about you guys. They don't connect with you guys. They don't interact with you guys. They use you just for, if it's something for entertainment purposes and things like that. Obviously, if it's controversial, they're going to stay away from it. And they definitely don't do it to socialize, to get to know you whatsoever. They don't give a shit about you. Big O, GP Trap, originally from Pennsylvania, saying hello. But you're here, right? GP Trap, you're here in South Florida, originally from Pennsylvania, but you're from here, right? I'm pretty sure you're here in South Florida, baby. So good stuff there. Francisco Rivero says, Big O, being an older fan, what would a Dolphins Super Bowl mean to this city? All I grew up with from 2003 was with the Marlins and the Heat dynasty, but I'm curious how the city would and fans to a Finns championship. We would lose our fucking minds. Whatever you've seen for a Heat celebration, crushed. Whatever you've seen for a Kane celebration, crushed. Should I mention the Marlins? Really? All right. There were great celebrations, by the way. I went to the celebrations for 97 and 03. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy about the Kane celebrations and obviously the Heat celebrations. The Dolphins winning a Super Bowl would be so enormous. This is what I guarantee you. I guarantee you, maniacs like NorCal will fly down to be part of the parade. Am I wrong, NorCal? Send me a text there. NorCal, am I wrong? Did I predict wrong on that one? I bet you Dolphin fans all over the world would go crazy. Our town would go absolutely nuts. Pots and pans everywhere. Just mind-boggling. I'm telling you, it would dominate. It would dominate for a week or two, the celebrations, and they would be enormous. Nothing gets this town going like football. We have embraced basketball, which I've been so impressed what Riley and the Heat organization have done to turn our community into loving basketball and following it on a really hardcore basis. But football is what we live, eat, and breathe down here. And because the Dolphins haven't won in so long now, that we're approaching 50 years now with all of this, I think God, I can't tell you what I think businesses would shut down, give their employees a day off or something. I think there would be like a special day when that day of the parade, they'll tell people, hey, take the day off or half a day off or whatever. I'm telling you that people are going to do things that they normally would not do if the Dolphins won a Super Bowl. And I guarantee you there'll be fans all over the world that'll just want to come here. Plus, we're Miami and South Florida. It's a great place to hang out and have fun, but enjoy that celebration. Let me see where the NorCal, did you answer me? Bringing 64 members. Okay. You know me very well, Big O. Our fans would go nuts. The world would know. Yeah. And he would come down here. I'm telling you. There'd be Dolphin fans flying down here just to be a part of it. There's no doubt about that. Rosendo says, if we win the Super Bowl, we can all go to Canton as a group and visit the Hall of Fame bust of Don Shula and sing the Dolphin fight song. Big O, do you have the fight song? Yes, we do have the fight song. I don't know if I get in trouble playing it on YouTube, so I'm not going to play it. I'm not playing any music on YouTube. They're a pain in the ass. So you will only hear our theme. That's it, dude. That's the only thing you're ever going to hear because YouTube's really, really touchy. So I'd rather kind of stay away from it. I could probably play like a little piece and not get in trouble, but I don't want to get too crazy. Keith and Meadows says, Big O, new fan from Raleigh, North Carolina. Plan on joining you and the crew pre and post game. The week 13 are able to text the venue. Are able to text it. What do you mean are able? What do you want me to do? Give you the address? Is that what you mean? Sportsgrill.com and then just hit the Miami Lakes location. Okay, just in case. I don't know. If you want me to put the address, I can put the address. I can do that for you, but it's super simple. But if you go to sportsgrill.com, Miami Lakes location, that's the one that's really close to the stadium. Oh, wait a minute. Week 13. I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm sending you to the wrong place. We'll be at Bird Road in week 13. Okay, that's at 114th and Bird Road. That's going to take you about 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get there from the stadium. The good thing is it's all turnpike. You take the turnpike right off of the stadium, and you get off on Bird Road on the turnpike. Just go south, and it's literally 3 blocks away, going east on the exit. So it's super simple to get to, and it's the stadium at the highway at the stadium drops you off at the highway, right there where Sports Grill is at, which is a beautiful thing. All right, let's. I'll get back to your texts. I'll get back to your chats. Got a bunch of things to talk about, but before we do all of that, let's talk a little football. And Lisa Johnson is going to join us. We're going to talk our football. Our turf football is the website. We talk to Lisa Johnson next.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we promised you that Lisa Johnson would be kind enough to join us from Our Turf Football. And if you want to follow it on Twitter, it's Our Turf FB. Check it out there on Twitter. You can check out all the articles across the country. Many ladies covering the great sport of football. Lisa, for the website, covers our Miami Dolphins. Lisa, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you? A little nervous about this weekend, I'll have to admit. I'll tell you.
I'm actually a little more confident this week than I would have been at the beginning of the season, because they kind of looked a little more human last week against Pittsburgh. The only thing, Lisa, is the natural pass rush that Pittsburgh can generate is something that Miami has not proven that they can generate. Ogba, I thought, was pretty damn good last week, but he really needs somebody opposite of him to really get after this guy. And I wonder with Phillips this week, I thought Poupar had a really good idea, is just unleash him. Don't worry. Don't have him drop back. Don't have him worry about the run. Just worry about Josh Allen and get after him. And I think that's the key now. How does Miami generate that pass rush against Josh Allen?
And I think that's exactly what you said. It's like you're going to have to really get after him, because, you know, he kills us. He kills us the last couple of games we've played. But what was so impressive about Pittsburgh is they put pass rush on him with like 4 linemen coming. So it's, you know, and that's certainly not the Dolphin style, as you said. You know, we need to work on getting some pressure on him, and we need to keep him in front of us. And one of the things that I thought Pittsburgh did great with is they kept everything in front of them. And, you know, when you put Allen in a like, say they got him behind the sticks. I mean, they were always in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, which is great. You want to get them behind the sticks, because let's face it, Josh Allen in the shotgun, you're a 3rd and 8. He's 4 yards taking the ball. So technically that's almost like that's a 3rd and 12 technically, because he's catching the ball 4 yards back from the line of scrimmage, where, you know, he got out a couple times, but he only scrambled for 8 yards. That's 3 yards shy of the first down, and they're off the field. I thought they did a great job. Tackling is going to be a must. You got to tackle this guy. He's a big guy, and the Dolphins have had they'll get him, but they can't get him wrapped up to the ground. They're gonna have to make sure their tackling is on point.
I think one of the things that I would love to see is also the running game working for the Miami Dolphins, because if you can keep possession and stretch out some of these possessions and keep that defense on the field as much as possible in the second half, that heat, that humidity will get to Buffalo because they're not used to being in the heat and humidity. And then now you can really start to maybe open it up and loosen it up a little bit more on these guys. I think that's going to be the other key. You want to give Josh Allen less opportunities of trying to catch, trying to put up points. And at the same time, the way to do that, you want to pressure him, you want to get him off the field. But I think running the football is going to be an enormous key in this game.
And we had some success last week doing that. So they just need to, build off of that. Coach Flo preached that, all this week in his pressers is, we have to execute. We have to win our matchups. And that is huge when you play Buffalo. You have to win the matchups. You have to make sure you keep everything in front of you. You have to make sure you don't give up big plays. Because like you said, you want to be there in the fourth quarter. Just give us a shot in the fourth quarter to be there, to give us a chance to win the game. And I think that's going to be huge to stop that. And like you said, make them play the full game. Make them play 60 minutes of football in this heat. And I think if the Dolphins can take them to the fourth quarter, give us a chance. And if we can hold the lead, how many times, like last week with the Patriots, did you notice we actually kept the ball and ran the clock out? I mean, I was like, that was amazing. I loved how aggressive he was, and shows you how I think he's starting to gain a little confidence with Tua to do this. This is what the kid's learning how to do. We've got to keep the ball. And that was a fantastic finish with New England. How many times have we done that, been able to run the clock out?
Yeah, no, I mean, under Flores, they've won twice already there in 5 trips. That's or 3 trips there, actually.
Right.
They've won twice, which is amazing. And he's 3-2 against him. So I've been really impressed. By the way, you can follow Lisa on Twitter at LJ1303. I know you can see it on YouTube, but obviously if you're listening on the podcast, LJ1303. And of course, go to Our Turf FB on Twitter. Also, you can follow all of them there on Our Turf FB. Lisa, your thoughts on Tua's play last week?
I thought he did okay. I mean, he's still so raw. I think so many people came out of the gate just expecting so much from him. And he's young, he's learning. Every single game, I just want to see growth. I just want to see the kid, every single game have a light bulb go off, have that one series where he kind of takes control. And like I said, he's still real young. It's going to take some time. We just got to have patience. And look, I'm guilty of it. I got hung up last week with it. Unfortunately, I had to listen to some of it on the radio. And when they brought Brissett in, the commentators on satellite radios that I was listening to was like, oh, that's it. Brissett's in the game. And I'm like, what? I had that knee-jerk reaction. I'll admit it. I was like, oh, my God, is that it? Did he give up on him? So, like I said, I have to calm myself down because I catch myself getting caught up in some of the, we want him to be elite now talk. So I've got myself a little calmed down. I'm going to get, technically this is the kid's rookie year to me. Last year, I was just kind of a wash to me.
It still is rookie year because that was his 10th game. So
exactly.
Talking about a kid that's played a lot of football yet at this point. He hasn't even played a complete season. He needs to play a couple of seasons to see the division a couple of times, see teams over and over again, start to learn their habits, start to learn the difference between one defensive coordinator and another defensive scheme, and the habits of each of those coaches. All of those things take time. You just don't learn them right away. And that's why we have this microwave society that wants immediate results. And it's nice to get immediate results. I get it. We experienced it when Marino coming off the bench
right
a long time ago, but that's rare. Those kind of dudes are just absolutely rare. And even Marino didn't start either, actually. So it took him a few games so they actually gave him the opportunity. But it's just we have very little patience here, and I definitely understand that. I talked about this yesterday on the show, and while I know that a lot of people are unhappy with Noah Igbenogany, I also have to remind people that, and I'm wondering how you feel about this, because it's kind of a catch too. Yeah, you can be frustrated with them, and you should be if you want, but there's also a flip side. The kid doesn't play. So if he doesn't play because he's got three people in front of him that are pretty damn good and they don't use him, it's hard for him to get playing time right now to ever get better. You cannot get better on the bench. There's no way. And so last year he got a little playing time because of the Jones injury. But outside of that, he just hasn't really had time to develop. And that's kind of been the catch-22. We could get pissed at him, but maybe, or we could get frustrated at the whole situation, but really the kid is not getting enough time to actually develop to, fix those damn skills.
Well, and that's the thing. And that goes back to Flo saying the matchups. He's going to play the guys that give him the best matchup of their skill sets you're seeing. He sees Buffalo on tape. They see him in practice. We don't. We're not involved in the coaches' conversations. So I honestly think if Coach Flo says, you know what, this week he had a tremendous week of practice, I think he'll match up good with, say, a Coles. I don't know about Stephon Diggs. Like I said, this is going to have to be your A-game defensive backs here. And if Flo is like, you know what, I'm still on the fence, I just don't think he's ready yet, Flo's going to take that roster spot and put it somewhere else. Yeah, that's going to make a difference. And I think that's what he does every week. Just because you see, like he said in his pressers, just because you see one set 1 week doesn't mean you're going to see it the next week. Because that's what this game's about. You have to put players in position to win the football game. Yeah. And he takes his coaches into account. And if he thinks that he's ready, he'll put him in. I have no doubt. So I think his time's coming. I definitely think you're going to see him. I just don't know if you're going to see him against this Buffalo Bills team.
No, yeah, I think he might get some piecemeal stuff throughout the year, but it might be another year before they put him out on the field. And then the real bitch is that you're not going to get a ton of time to actually assess whether he's made progress or not, because let's say he gets way more playing time next year. Well, now you're in year 3. So now the window's a lot shorter to figure out whether you made a good pick or not. And then the other thing that you have to think about is the front office going, maybe we drafted too many corners, because Nick Needham turned out
Flo thing, right?
Yeah, Nick Needham turned out to be a pretty good player, and he doesn't really play the slot. So if Noah can't, and he's not supposed to knock out Jones or X, that would be a really bad look if he knocks out Jones or X. So it's like they're in there going, man, how do we get this kid better if we can't get him on the field? So the whole Noah thing is so frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating for him. I'm sure it's frustrating for coaches, the front office, and fans. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations that's kind of unsatisfying for all, and none of us really have the answer on how you really can get the best out of the kid when people in front of him are already playing, man. It's a tough one. All right. The passing game this week against the Bills. How much better do you think it gets now with Will Fuller in the mix? Because Albert Wilson played, and there was one chance with him and Tua trying to connect, but overall did not have the impact. So I think they're hoping Fuller becomes a real difference maker this week.
Yeah, and the only concern is, he hasn't practiced much. So, how much is that going to affect Coach's Flo's decision with him? How's that going to impact the game plan? Because you have to game plan, and he hasn't been practicing much. So to me, it's like, how much action will he see? Albert Wilson, we all talked about it. I actually heard you guys talking about it too. He was a monster in training camp. Didn't kind of show up last week. But is that the game plan that they just had against the Patriots? To me, the key in this passing game is we got to get these tight ends involved this Sunday. They have to get involved. We need to see Gesicki. And I think Sheehan's coming back. So I think that's going to be more. I honestly think he's going to make a much more impact than Fuller will. So I'm looking for more of the tight end to be a huge factor this Sunday than I am Fuller. I think Fuller will be a nice little maybe disguise to put some things in, but I just don't know how much of an impact. I think Sheen coming back is going to be a much improved offense with him in the lineup.
I'm glad you brought that up, Lisa. That's a great call on your part, because I've been kind of on this trip from the beginning that when they drafted Hunter Long, that tells me that their vision is to have two tight ends and kind of make life easier for their quarterback, kind of like when New England's trying to do the same thing. And I don't think that the secondary of the Bills is this incredible secondary. And I think with the safeties, I think you'll be able to actually take advantage. And I'm with you. I think the Shaheen addition, he was showing great chemistry already as it is. And because Gesicki gets so much attention, because Jalen Waddle's going to get a lot of attention after they watch the New England film, I think that's going to open it up for Shaheen. It's going to open it up for Parker, maybe even a little Fuller too at the same time. I thought Parker looked he looked healthy. He looked spry. He looked explosive this past week. And so all of a sudden, Parker becomes kind of the forgotten guy. Shaheen comes in as the under-the-radar guy. And then you add Fuller. I think as a secondary right now, the Bills have to be concerned about how they're going to defend that Dolphin passing game. And I'm with you. I think the two tight end set is going to become a real factor this week.
Yeah, and if you can add getting a little bit of a running game to have a little bit of a play action, that'll be the game changer. I mean, if you can get this running game a little bit better than it was in the Patriots, get some lanes open that pass action, play action, you're going to see it. You're going to see us hold that ball. Time of possession should be huge. We didn't have very good time of possession last week, even though we came out with the win. Time of possession is a little concerning because you want to extend drives. You want to, keep our defense fresh. You want to keep Josh Allen off the field. So, like I said, the tight end play to me, what we just talked about, is going to be the factor, I think, that can really help us out.
And the other thing that I thought about, and I think they're going to unleash it at one point, maybe this is the week where they do it. Salvon Ahmed has already shown a real gift of catching the ball and becoming a difference maker in that area. I think eventually you're going to see some kind of a wheel route, something with Ahmed involved, and he's going to help out in the passing game and be a real threat for them. That's the other thing. I don't think we've seen it's not like obviously one game you're not going to see the whole playbook, but I think there's more diversity to the offense now than they had in the last 2 years. And it's just a matter of it evolving and us watching it, develop. I don't think we saw everything last week. I think we'll see a little bit more with some of the additions this week. And now Godsey and Studsville can actually now they have all their cards there that they can use. You know what I'm saying? I think that's
right. And one thing too, I want to comment off of was, I didn't hear too much of the conversation with you guys, but I'd love to get your intake on them getting cute with bringing Jacoby Brissett in for that quarterback sneak. I'll tell you right now, I am not a fan because I am all about momentum. If the momentum's good, we're on a drive, we come up to a 3rd and 1, call the play. Let's keep going. I hate the fact of stopping the play, bringing the personnel in for Jacoby. You got a different cadence. One huge stop can just totally change the momentum. I am not a fan of that.
I understand that, but because after I watched Pat Mahomes get injured on a quarterback sneak, and because he's not a 6'4" guy in Tua, I had no problem with that play.
Okay.
Now, the way I would have run that play is, it's 3rd and short. Brissett has to, hey, it's second and long. Hey, if we're in 3rd and short, Jacoby, be ready to run in for it. And what I would have done is immediately I would have had Tua ready that once Brissett is diving in, his ass is running out onto the field and continue.
Right. See, that's keep it. It seemed like it just was so slow. It seemed like it was just took so much time to develop of who was going to be where. And it drives me crazy. It's like you got the momentum. Let's go. And
I thought what really killed the momentum was the 2nd down that they kept Jacoby in. And I don't know if they were trying to, because you talked about cadence. I don't know if they were trying to draw them off sides.
Yeah.
I don't know what they saw in the game plan that after short yardage, if you keep them on the field, there's the personnel that they're going to have. We can take advantage of certain things. But I'm with you. I would have got him off the field because you had just completed the big pass to Jalen Waddle. You had all the momentum. Everything was moving. I think you could have done the switch really quick and keep momentum going.
Yeah, keep it going.
And I have no problem using a 6'4" body over a 6 foot and a half, body for the quarterback sneak. That I actually I was impressed with that because I never thought of that. I thought that was actually a really good thing. But I'm with you on the momentum. You have to be better prepared, and you got to get Tua back in there. I don't care what kind of gimmick you saw, dude. You're playing the page. You're not, you do it the right way. I'm with you there. So what's the prediction, Lisa?
I think if we can stay with them, make them play a complete game, give us a chance at the end of the game. And I'll tell you right now, I see a special teams play coming up that could win the game in the fourth quarter.
Ooh, Jakeem Grant, huh? There you go, my boy.
I'm seeing special teams. I'm feeling special teams. We just got to stay with them. We got to give ourselves that chance in the fourth quarter to pull it out. Either long field goal or run back. I mean, I'm feeling a special teams play coming. That's going to be the difference in this game.
All right. What are you working on the site so folks can check you out?
Well, of course, right now I'm working on the Buffalo game plan this week. I'm doing a couple radio shows with some Buffalo Bills fans. So I'm excited about that. But I got some articles coming out. I'll be at the game Sunday. So definitely, please follow along. I love talking to people. So I'm just looking forward to Buffalo and getting some things out on it.
You got it. There you go. Thank you, Lisa. As always, follow her on Twitter, LJ1303. And the site is Our Turf Football. Check it out, ourturffootball.com. Lisa, thank you as always. You're awesome.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. There you go, Lisa Johnson. Good stuff there as always. Appreciate Lisa. Right here on the Big O Radio Show.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
All right, we're back. We thank Lisa, as always, for joining us. Talking a little Dolphins football as we get ready for the Bills and the Dolphins on Sunday. We will have our pre- and post-game show 2 hours before kickoff, 2 hours after kickoff. We'll have our insiders in the locker room. We have 3 different insiders covering the team, so nobody's going to give you better insight and objective insight on what's going on than our show. We will carry the press conferences, whether it's coach or players. You'll hear from Tua. You'll hear from the coach. You'll get our reactions from all of it. You won't miss a damn thing, dude. All right? You won't miss a damn thing, and you won't have to sit through long commercial breaks and all that other stuff that they do, and obviously got to play the politics, all that kind of stuff that you get on other places. So make sure you tune in to us. Tommy says, oh, did you hear anything about Gesicki getting into it with Tua and Flo on the sidelines last week? No, I did not. Who reported it? What are we talking about? That's what I need to know. I have not seen anything. Show me who reported it, and then I can react off of it. Gus 1388 says, Big O, today's my birthday, and all I want is Tua to pick a guy and let it fly to a Dolphins win this weekend. By the way, Dolphins game is blacked out the entire state of Florida except for the Miami market. Direct TV for everybody else in Florida. Okay. I see. All right. So there you go. So if you're in Miami, but I mean, if you're out of town, they've got a bunch of stuff there ready for you. They got those links that you can find. Why does somebody say we have plenty of Chick-fil-A? You guys sending me pictures and everything? You got to add a little more Gesicki. Gesicki's a playmaker. He needs 9 to 10 touches. Okay. All right. You can't tell me we have plenty of Chick-fil-A and then, leave me hungry like this. That's just wrong. I haven't had a chicken biscuit in a while. Love to have a little chicken biscuit. Man, those Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits are the best. Chris Adams says, Lisa's pretty good. It's great to hear some football from a lady's perspective. I'm totally digging her and having her on the show again. This show is where everyone can get the best Fins info. Thank you, Chris. Lisa does a great job. Lisa goes to the Senior Bowl. She's hardcore, man. She does a really good job. She and I were hanging out at the Senior Bowl a couple of years ago because it's 3 years ago because I haven't been to the last two, unfortunately, because of stinking COVID. And plus, last year, I had a chance to go last year, but it was so limited and you weren't going to get any access whatsoever. And talking to guys around the league, a lot of them were like, hey, man, I'm staying in the room. I'm not going out as much and this and that. And so I'm like, forget it. So now I don't know if hopefully we're in a much better place this year. Go out there. Although I will say this, the East-West Shrine in Vegas, man, I don't know how I passed that up. I got to tell you, that's one that's got to be an interesting. And the people at the East-West Shrine have always been absolutely phenomenal with us, man. Great access, always take care of us. We love the people at the East-West Shrine game. Senior Bowl is great too. But man, I tell you, I'm gonna miss my trips to St. Pete because that was a lot of fun. Diane Mayer says Wayne Cox, he ran down to give him a hug. I don't know what that means. Hard Rock Stadium will be packed, so no blackout. Come on, guys. In Hallandale, in Miami, is Hallandale Miami market? I think so. I think it's Miami Fort Lauderdale, sir. The TV market is Miami Fort Lauderdale. West Palm, I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure. See, I don't want to talk out of place where this, that, and this is for sure it's on. No, it's not. I don't want to freak any of you guys out. Let's see. What else do we have? Herman says, Lisa's a good insider. I started following her on Twitter, and she writes good stuff. She goes to the press conferences. She's at practice. She goes to games. She travels to the Senior Bowl. I mean, I don't know what more you want from the woman. She's doing her part, trying to cover the Dolphins and giving you information, man. She knows her stuff. Listen, I don't bring people on if they don't know their stuff. And I don't bring people on because, it's a novelty. Let me bring a woman on. I don't disrespect people that way. When people come on, it's because they're great reporters, because they know their stuff. That's the reason why I bring them on. It's not because I'm trying to do anything on any other level whatsoever. We'll have Michelle Kaufman later. She's an ass kicker. You know what I mean? So those are things like that. We've had several women on the show always. Why? Because they know their shit, dude. They're just as good as the men. They know their stuff. So I respect them. Love it on Fox. I don't have cable. Fox is a stronger station with reception. Okay. If Manny continues to be this terrible head coach, is there any chance he gets canned at some point this season? No. Stop already with the Manny stuff. I already told you, there's no shot he gets fired this year. There's no way they put him on the hot seat, because then Blake James is putting himself on the hot seat. Because then he has to fire a guy with 2 years left on his contract and $4 million you paid to get his services. So they'll fire Blake James also. Maybe after next season, they will blow him out. But again, Troy, I already talked about this. None of it matters. The administration is going to hire another Shannon, another Golden, or another Diaz. None of it matters, dude. They're not going to spend elite. So if you're not going to spend to be elite, you'll never be elite. That's just the way it is. It's over already. Stop complaining about Manny. Complain to the administration. Don't complain to Blake James. Don't complain to Manny. That's a waste of time. Complain to the administration. Challenge them to get an elite staff. That's what you have to do. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you reach those people, but they're the problem. They're the ones that don't care about having the University of Miami at an elite level. You got to buy a staff, not a coach. Okay? It's got to be a great coach. It's got to be a great offensive and defensive coordinators. And if you don't have that, you got no shot in hell, and that's what's going on. Keep hiring those kind of people. You hire the Goldens of the world, you get those results. You hire the Shannons of the world, you'll get those results. And you hire the Diaz of the world, you'll get those results. So they'll continue to look for those kind of guys because they're not willing to go all the way, my man. So stop wasting your time complaining about Manny Diaz. Eudotis says, I'm from New York, surrounded by miserable Jets fans. It's great that I can come on YouTube and chill out with my fellow Fins fans. Well, welcome aboard, my friends. Thank you. And remember to smash the hell out of the like button. That is the most important thing you're going to do for our show is smash the like button, folks. We need it, and we need it badly. That will help out in a big time way. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? We are at the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. So let's reset. Let's take a very small break so I can take a sip of water, and then we will come back and we will start hour number 2 of the Big O Radio Show.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Appreciate you joining us here for hour number 2. Thank you for your patience as we take a little sip of water and recharge. This will be pretty much an open hour, actually. Plenty of talk that we're going to get into. 12:15, Joe Shad will join us in hour number 3. At 12:40, Michelle Kaufman will join us here also. Yeah, you know who's another lady that joins us a lot too is Alex Winley. She knows her soccer, man. She is really, really good. That young lady's got a bright future, man. She sounds good too on air, so she's going to be able to do both. She can do all kinds of stuff, not just print, but she's going to have a future on the mic if she wants it. I don't know. I definitely would tell her never, ever get into radio. That's for sure. Okay. No radio, but do your own podcast, do something else. Big O in the Noah Igbenogamy case. I think I disagree. I don't think you draft a first rounder to be a healthy scratch and to play him in spots. I think Greer might have to try to flip him for a draft pick. Flip him for what at this point? You're going to lose. That's like the guy that bought Bitcoin at 65,000 when it was soaring, and it drops to 28. And in the middle of the drop, you sell it out at 35 or 40, and you lose your ass because you panic. You can't do that. You gotta work with the kid. It's what I think. This is what it is. Yeah, of course you don't draft a guy, but they went and signed Jones. They have X. I think that they were thinking, okay, they need an insurance policy, but the problem is you're not giving him the playing time to develop him. And you're just not going to develop him enough in practice. You can do some stuff in practice, but it just doesn't mean anything. It's like watching Ben Simmons. They show you these practice highlights, and he's shooting from 20 feet out and hitting threes and this and that. And then here comes the game, and he's scared shitless to take a shot. Yeah, you got to play him. You got to put him in games. That's the way you get Noah developed. And unfortunately, they don't have the space to play him in a game. I saw somebody on the text saying maybe he's a safety. Maybe he is. I don't know. We'll see. I think the idea was to kind of develop him over the next year or two and then eventually become a replacement for either Byron Jones or X if they trade him for a boatload of picks. But this year, they knew he wasn't ready, so they had no intentions on trading X because they want to win and they want to get to the playoffs this year. Because to them, it's more important to get to the playoffs. I just think it sucks. But what's my bigger problem with all of this now? Seriously, here's my biggest problem with all of this right now. The team's 1-0. They beat the Patriots. It had nothing to do with Noah. So why is he such a subject? And why he's such a sore subject right now? Do you have to go out of your way to worry about that right now? It has nothing to do with the game. He can't play. He's not taking over for Byron Jones and X. So what the hell's the problem? You understand? Like bitching and it's the same thing I just said about Manny Diaz. Bitching and complaining about Manny Diaz doesn't do jack shit. And bitching and complaining about Noah right now doesn't do jack shit. Can't play over Jones and can't play over X. He's not a slot guy. You got your slot guy. The team's 1-0. Can we just talk about the Bills? Can we talk about the game? Can we talk about the players that are on the field? You have to worry about the guy that's not on the field? That's the part I don't understand. Are you just bitching to bitch? That's all it is? Complaining to fucking complain? You can't enjoy the moment that they're 1-0? We have to find something negative. They won the game. Why isn't Noah playing? Well, dude, he's not starting over the two corners. So what do you want him to do? He doesn't get any playing time to develop. So what do you want him to do? So why complain about him right now? He has nothing. You know, when you talk about Noah at the end of the year, you don't talk about Noah after you beat the Patriots on the road. You're 1-0 and you're getting ready for the Bills. He has nothing to do with the Bills game. So why are we going to talk about him? It's more important that Byron Jones plays well. It's more important that X plays and shuts out people. It's more important that Javon Holland develops right now. That's what's more important. It's more important that Nick Needham plays his ass off like he does every week of his life. It's more important that Jalen Phillips plays well. He's playing. Why do you waste your time worrying about Noah because he doesn't play? And he has no factor in this game. And it's not like they desperately need him as a gunner. They don't need him. They don't need him at safety right now. They don't need him at corner right now. Now, if people get injured and then you've got to go depend on Noah and he doesn't come through, the door is open to complain. But right now, complaining about Noah does nothing, dude. It's a waste of time. And you might end up looking really stupid, just like the people that were complaining about Gesicki. But at least with Gesicki, guess what, folks? He was playing week after week in his first year while he had a terrible year. That's not Noah. Did Noah get to play 16 games last year? No. He filled in for a couple. That's all he's done. It's almost like this is what I keep telling you about certain fans. They keep living in the past and they keep worrying about the past and they keep thinking that the past is going to come up again. And it is amazing to me the amount of texts and complaints that I get about Noah, and it's like it has nothing to do with the game anyway. He can't play. Even if he actually could play a boundary position, he can't play. He would be sitting there and standing there and waiting because he doesn't have a spot to start anyways. That's the part that's amazing to me. I'd rather talk about, like I did with Lisa, are you going to get Ahmed more involved in the passing game? How much will Shaheen, who's looked good with Tua, help out now and will drive those damn, safeties crazy now because they have two tight ends now and two big bodies that can catch the pass. Will Fuller, the addition of Will Fuller, we know that the dude's a speedster, that he can take the top off the damn defense. I am so excited about watching Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle on the same field and how Devontae Parker will no longer be the focal point. And now he gets to face against probably a lesser corner now, which Devontae will be able to take advantage of those lesser corners. Why can't we talk about that? Why can't we talk about, hey, when is Eichenberg, who is getting opportunities, when's he going to challenge for a starting job? Now, he got good play this week. Hey, Austin Jackson's back. He's been playing a lot. Let's talk about him. Hey, Hunt was really good in this game this past week. Dieter didn't play bad, actually. If you watch the tape, he actually did a decent job. Why don't we talk about these things? They're 1-0. We can get excited about the Bills game. It's freaking home, dude. And we're worried about a guy that doesn't play. I'm sorry. Some of you are worried about a guy that doesn't play. I don't get it, man. I really don't. You like, there's no happiness in your life? You can't sit back and enjoy the damn moment? So, no, let me find something to bitch and complain about because that's my fucking life. That's what I do in life. No matter how good things are going, let me find something to complain about. I hit the lottery. Great. But, dude, I got to fucking drive to Tallahassee. I don't get it, man. After all these years of suffering, we got a coach, we got a front office. They're changing the culture. They're winning. They're only getting better. And all we have to do is try to find some kind of negativity in every goddamn thing. There isn't anything negative. Do you guys understand that? It's a packed stadium. You got your starting quarterback. Why don't we talk about the starting quarterback? You got a team that's undefeated, the only one that's undefeated in the damn division, sitting on top of the division, above everybody else. It's going to be great buzz in the stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. What Stephen Ross has done and what Tom Garfinkel and Stephen Ross have done to that a place, they've made it a palace for you. Man, let's talk about that. No, let's just bitch and complain about a guy that doesn't play. And a guy that doesn't have a spot to play in anyway. It's baffling to me, dude. It just is. It drives me crazy that some of you cannot live in the moment and actually enjoy it. No, I got to find something to complain about because that's just the way it is. Remember, you can reach out to us on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. You can also reach out on Twitter at Big O Show. Email Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com. And, of course, Cash App and Venmo, great ways to support us at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show at Cash App or Venmo. And always appreciate it. Thank you. Giovanni says, tired of people living in the past. We gave every QB since Dan Marino a chance to develop, and we're crucifying Tua. He's only played 10 games, rookie training camp, video chat meetings, and came off major surgery. I know. Toto goes, this sounds like a mature middle-aged O talking to a young angry O. Got to look at the negative, too. You'll be the first one to complain when you are let down, Big O. Okay, but let's wait till we're let down. Right? He can't play. You understand that, right? He can't play. There are two guys starting in front of him. He can't play. That's it. He's not a slot guy. That's not his skill set. Sam Madison, Pat Surtain. Pat could play the slot. Sam was not a slot. Understand that. Noah, not a slot. So he's an outside guy. So he can't play anyway. So what's there to complain about right now? So let's wait till he actually plays and screws up. And then we can complain and say, wow, the kid can't develop. But right now, sitting there with his thumb up his ass, what's he doing? Nothing. It's not, we can't do anything about it. Complaining is nothing. If you just complain about this, why? Why? They won in New England. They're getting ready for the Bills. The guy has nothing to do with the Bills game. Leave him alone. Get a life. Live in the present. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Right now is not the time to complain. Not about him. Let's talk about Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips has got to get it going, right? Jalen Phillips has got to pick it up. Now, I wanted to talk about this because Jalen Phillips is actually playing. And he's needed this week against the Bills. They drafted him to be a pass rusher, and he's playing. Okay? Now, Jalen Phillips, I want to run because this goes a little bit with any player out there too. So how many of you right now like how many of you right now like Emmanuel Ogbah? You like him, right? Good player. Any of you out there, text it out to me. You like Emmanuel Ogbah, right? 855-912-1056. You think he's a good player, right? Those of you on the chat board, you think he's a good player, right? So how do you think Kansas City feels about Emmanuel Ogbah? I'm just wondering. What do you think Kansas City, first year, 5.5 sacks. Second year, 4 sacks. Third year, 3 sacks. Fourth year, 5.5 sacks. Did they get their money's worth? Did they get their draft picks worth? Now Miami signs him for a bargain deal, and he gets 9. Did he develop late? Is that what it is? Is he a late bloomer? Because his career's been mediocre. You understand that, right? And yet, he got 9 sacks this year. And let me tell you, last year and last week he was pretty good. They held him a couple times. He was right there, man. There were a couple times that he was a hair away from picking up a sack. He played well, actually. I know that he didn't get the sack itself, but he wasn't bad. And I see all the texts. Love Agba. Yes, 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 yes. So how would you feel if you drafted Agba and it took him a while to develop? Just wondering. Because it's not you love Agba, what you got of Agba. You didn't get the first 4 years of Agba. So you can then complain. And this is what happens in this league sometimes. Some guys, it takes them a while to develop. They don't figure it out. Sometimes they're in the wrong system. Sometimes the coach doesn't use them properly. Because it's kind of a team thing. You got to be in the right scheme. You've got to do your part, of course. And then your coach has got to put you in a position to be successful. If your coach constantly is screwing up and not putting you in a position to be successful, sometimes it's not your fault. Yet, the media and fans are blaming you because they don't know exactly what the hell's going on. And this happens. And I'm not saying that's what happened in Kansas City because tons of other people are having success in Kansas City. Emmanuel Agba was nothing special for 4 years. So I get it. Jalen Phillips wasn't special in his first game. Let's give him some time. People are already complaining about Jalen Phillips. They've been complaining about him in the preseason when my boy Gregory Rousseau got a couple of sacks. And it's like, relax. I'm not telling you that it's going to take Jalen Phillips 5 years to develop. I'm just saying sometimes it takes players a little while for that light to go on. But can you imagine Kansas City drafting the kid and he goes 5.5 the first year, which is half decent for a first year? Solid, right? That's not a terrible year for a first-year pass rusher to get to 5 sacks. That's a pretty decent year overall because it's a really difficult position from a young age. But then it went 4 and then 3. So it declined. How do you think they were doing in Kansas City with Emmanuel Agba? Do you think they were happy? And then he ends up with 5.5 on a contract year. And then he ends up getting a big contract here. I mean, I'm sorry. He got not a big contract. He's working for a big contract. Then he got a contract here that was, $7 million contract is what you give a 5-sack guy. That's what it is. A 5'6" guy, 5'6", maybe 7-sack guy. That's what you're going to give him. And he's developed here. The light's gone on. We have to be patient, ladies and gentlemen. It just doesn't happen overnight for every single player. And I wanted to use Emmanuel Agba because it's a player that a lot of you have fallen in love with, including yours truly. I like what I see from the guy. I think it's been a steal of a free agent signing by Chris Greer. And the 2-year deal thing is so smart because it protects your ass as a team. Like if he sucks that first year, you can cut him. And that second year, there was really no cap hit and you can move on from it. First year, he was awesome. Now you own him for the second year and he has to bring it again if he wants to get that contract from you. Makes a lot of sense. You don't lose the player and you can control the player at the same time. I just kind of find it funny that, we don't take everything into perspective and we overreact about stuff. Kind of like the whole Noah Igbenogany thing. Kid doesn't play, has very little chance to develop in real games. Really doesn't have a slot to play in right now as it is. And even if he was can you imagine, some of you might say, well, maybe he can help on special teams as a gunner. Okay, so let's say he makes it as a gunner. everybody would still be complaining. Wait a minute, they drafted a first-round flyer? How does that make any sense, right? In the end, until he becomes a cornerback, nobody will be happy. Well, he can't become a cornerback on this team right now. They've got two guys in Jones and X, and he's got to be better than those guys. That takes a lot. But no, let's bitch and complain. Let's just go crazy about it. Something that has nothing to do with the game, nothing to do with this week's game, but let's just distract ourselves and talk about something that really is irrelevant, actually. That's what it is. It's irrelevant. Like I said yesterday, maybe they overdrafted. Maybe they're planning, and right now it's overdrafting. Now, if they trade X next year, then maybe now Noah spotlight on him. Yo, got to improve right now. And then the heat is on the kid. Video game and fantasy football has put analytics and numbers on everyone, and it's not for the better. People understand these are kids that grow. Most of them are in their young 20s. Where were you at 22? Yeah, I was pretty lost. I definitely was. Big O, so during the game, under important situations, do they play 100% snap? Huh? Michael, I didn't understand that question. I'm sorry, my brother. Big O, do you think Jalen needs to get stronger? He's got the speed. Drago, every player that comes out of college needs to get stronger for the NFL. Every single player. Every player will work on their bodies when they come from college, dude. They're playing with grown-ass men, and these guys are not fully developed yet. So that doesn't – the position doesn't matter. All of them got to get stronger, dude. So, yeah, sure. Jalen Waddle's got to get probably a little tougher, a little thicker, maybe. You know, you don't want too much because you want your flexibility and you want to keep your speed. But yeah, he will work that weight room. Look at Tyler Johnson. And basketball is no different. They all got to beef up a little bit. You're playing against men now. These men have, 8 girlfriends and 10 houses and 15 cars, and they got a lot of things they got to pay. Big O Phillips, just a rookie, and yet double-teamed him during the game. Did you see it? Yes. But I saw him also on one-on-ones, and now I saw him also in the second half start to kind of show a little bit more and a little bit more. So Phillips, just let's give him some time, okay? Big O, do you expect we are going to have a stronger rushing attack this week, or do you expect more of a passing attack or a balance of both? Rosendo, I think they will attempt to have a rushing attack because you need to have some success on the ground to keep Josh Allen off the field. You have to do that, dude. You have to try to punish them and wear them down in the heat also. That's the other key thing that you want to do. Good morning, Big O. A lifelong fan here in Arizona. Sometimes luck favors the prepared. That's right. Ask Belichick with Brady in the 6th round. Big O, why do they play on artificial turf in Buffalo? Is it to keep the cheerleaders from grazing after the game? Let's see. Need one to grow on. Oh, okay. Big O, let's admit this. The coaching staff finally gets it. We can finally relax. Thank you, Flo and Greer. I agree with that, More Life. I think they do get it. Remember, it took DVP a few years too. Well, he's also been injured. That's kind of been that's really what's held back. What held back Devontae Parker from everything and still holds him back is injuries. His body it wasn't made for this game, unfortunately, for Devontae. Buffalo is among the ugliest cities I've ever been to in my life. Just wow. That's what Diane Mayer says. Diane dropping the hard news. Wayne in UK says Myles Gaskin 100 yards this week, 250 yards and touchdowns. We got this. Watch the RPO running game up the middle. The Buffalo defense is weak up the middle. Well, they should be able to run some this week. Let's hope so. Let's hope that they get some kind of a running game going this week. I don't think they'll be shut down by these guys, but I think that they should have some kind of success. What I want to see is the backs catching more passes, is what I want to see coming out of the backfield. And I'd like for them to use Gaskin and Ahmed in that role. Make those linebackers work. That's what I would like to do. But it's just, it's funny to me how that's why I wanted to talk about the Ogba situation. That, it is what it is. All right. Remember, 855 912 1056. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 855 912 1056. Of course, got the YouTube chat board where you can reach out to us here on the YouTube chat board. Email Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com, and also on Twitter, Big O Show. And please smash the hell out of that like button. It is really important that you smash the like button, man. Incredibly important that you smash that like button. It really will help us out. And share the links to the podcast, to YouTube, so we can get more people on board. And remember, Cash App and Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Big O, the best part of the final drive of the last game was Tua's audible out of a run and a play to call the slant throw to Parker to get the first down. So they have the confidence in him to start calling his own shots. It's clear he's reading the defense good. He can read defenses. I'm not worried about that. And it looks, what I want to know is it more of a check with me system where he has either a run or a pass that he can change, or does he have autonomy to with the whole playbook and he can completely change things? Change the coverages up front, change the formation, all of those things, that if he sees something, can he completely change it all? That looked to me like it was a check with me system, where if you don't like the run, you go to, this is your pass play that you have set in if you don't like this run. That's what I have a feeling that that's kind of what it is, a check with me system. And then his response to it was, yeah, we didn't want to give them the ball back, is what he said to that, which I thought that was good. At 10:55, I'm getting laughing faces from one of the texters. Okay. I don't know what that means. What else? Oh, what do you think what do you think Fuller is going to bring to the game Sunday? Speed, baby. I feel the need for speed. That's what it is. That's what's going to bring it to the table and open it up. With him and Waddle, that's going to drive the free safety crazy. I'd send those guys up all the time and free up the middle of the field for Gesicki and Parker to do all kinds of damage in this game. And I can have a back coming out of the backfield and run shallow crossing routes. You can do all kinds of little things like that. You're going to free up the middle of the field now with Fuller and Waddle taking people out of the mix. Just send those guys. Whew. And remember, they're not going to get jammed at the line. These are the kind of guys that get free off the line quickly, and they go. They go. So, yeah. Big O, I know you will say no, but when Joe leaves, will you get the call because you're what you're building now? No, sir. It doesn't matter if I don't think you understand this. Do you want this format to continue? I can't do this on radio. You do know that, right? Couple breaks in an hour, maybe 3-4 minutes of commercial breaks in 1 hour. I can drop an F-bomb every once in a while. I can drop an S-bomb every once in a while. You know what I mean? I'm not going to harp on the same subject for 3 hours. I'm not going to do that. I can't do what I do now. You don't really want me to go back to QAM, actually. You understand that? And by the way, why are you still listening to radio? I don't get it. Appreciate Joe. Joe's excellent. But once Joe leaves, that station will be closed down. I've already told you that. That station will switch formats. They are losing their ass running 2 sports stations, and they don't have the personnel for 1 sports station. They don't have the money. They keep making cuts. I'm telling you, I believe they'll file Chapter 11 in 2022 also as a company. So I have no interest on going back to radio ever again. The only thing I would do for fun is a rock DJ. That's the only. They're not going to play Dire Maker from Led Zeppelin. No. It's got to be Stairway to Heaven and Black Dog. And you'll repeat those 2 songs 87 times over and over again. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. What are you going to do, man? This format, you can't get anywhere. What I'm doing now, nobody's doing locally. Not even close. And we've got all our insiders. We're going to add more. We're not done yet. I don't really, for those of you that, and there's a ton of people now downloading the show. Thank you all out there. Thank you. We're averaging over 1.1 million downloads in the last 30 days. I mean, the number just keeps going up. Why would anybody want me to go to radio now? And why would I want to go to radio now? Doesn't make any sense. We can build up our sponsorships from here. We can make a good living and survive finally. And Sean, hopefully, same thing. As long as Sean and I can, make a good living from this and feed our families, we're fine. And that's what we're working for. And we don't have to deal with the corporate bullshit, which I can't say over there. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I can't work for an idiot that I forgot more radio than he did. Or than he knows. I'm sorry. That's the other thing. I'm just tired of it, dude. I tried it. I've tried, going the corporate route and all that, but all I'm doing is giving my work to them. And why should I do that? Plus, I feel like listeners enjoy this more than anything else. At least that's what I'm feeling. I've never had these kind of numbers. Not at QAM, okay? Not at 640, not at Onside Radio. Where I'm out downloading the entire station by miles every single day. It just, obviously, there's a response. A lot of people love this kind of format better than, the normal formats that are out there. So, yeah, my brother, I don't think I would ever go back ever again to QAM. I would do Mad Dog. That maybe I could fill in over at Mad Dog or do something. That might be a possibility, but you'll never catch me again on local radio. I'm done with that, man. I'm done with those companies. Alex says, yes, we actually get to talk to you better on here. What happened with you on Onside? There was no commitment, brother. That's all. It ended. It's over. So it is what it is. You move on, and you can, I try to revive it, but I have to find the right owners. If I don't have people that will bring, real help with me, I can't do everything by myself, man. Not even on this show, I can do everything by myself. I slowly but surely have to build it up and get, and get the sponsorships I need in order to have certain employees and do the things I want to do. Because remember, you go to those kind of places, they're not going to pay for me to go to the East-West Shrine game and the Senior Bowl and all. I had to pay on my own for that kind of stuff. The only person that helped me out was Joe Bell. No one else has ever helped me out on radio. Every other GM that we had, they were like, oh, we don't have the money. And it's like, do you know that people like that kind of coverage and they want to know about the draft? Like, the draft is well, it's not in our budget. Well, then get the sponsors so you can create it. And no, they're too lazy. So, like I'm telling you, here, I want to go to the East West. I want to go to the Senior Bowl. I want to go to the Combine like I've done for over 20 years. I want to go to the Vegas Summer League in basketball. I want to do those kind of things that you just don't have normal shows do. And if our teams go to playoffs and Super Bowls and World Series and those kind of things, I want our show to be there. I want to do all those kind of things that they don't do locally anymore, and they don't care to do locally anymore. I want to connect with all of you out there, something they don't care about either. So trust me, you don't want me to go back to regular radio. Plus, I don't need the hassles, because the one thing that I've never done when I've been in local radio is, bro, I don't toe the company line. That's not me. That's never been me. That will never be me. I don't do it. And that's a lot. And that's a pain in the ass. Some of you have met me over the years, and many of you have always, almost every time I get somebody says, hey, I love your honesty. I love that you don't hold back. Many times I've told you, if any of you have ever met me, I told you it's not the best approach. I want you to know, because being honest is not something that they want. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry. What are you going to do? I'm going to be honest if I screw up. And so I'm going to be honest when anybody else screws up. I have to. I know I'm as defective as anybody else out there. So I'm susceptible to making all kinds of mistakes. And I'll tell you, hey man, I screwed up. It's me. My fault, man. I apologize. I need to correct it. I need to get better from it. So you think I'm not going to point out somebody else, and you think they want that? Because they've got partnerships. Yeah, I'm done. Big O, what platform you use to buy Miami coin? Oh, I don't buy it now. I'll tell you. Okay. And I'm not gonna I want to check right now. Holy shit. I got it at 1-1 and it's at 4 cents. I've tripled my investment. Oh, there we go. And you got to go to OK Coin, okay, to get it. That's the only place that sells Miami coin. OK Coin. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stacks, Avalanche, Algorand, Polkadot, Tether, DAI, USDC coin, EOS, Tron, Smooth Love Potion. Never heard of that. Axie Infinity, Wrapped Bitcoin, Sushi Swap, Stellar, Solana, Polygon, Miami Coin, Tezos, Cosmos, Cardano, Aave, Near Protocol, Dogecoin, CeeLo, Maker DAO, Synthetics, CeeLo. Well, the first CeeLo is CeeLo Dollar, and now CeeLo. Unirap, Hedra, Hashgraph, Yearn Finance, Compound, Chainlink, USDK, and Litecoin. Now, I told you this yesterday, and I'll tell you again. No, I told you on Tuesday. Do not buy anything that's gone parabolic. And I got it at one. It came out and it went to 5.8 cents. It dropped down. Never buy anything when it debuts. Never. I'm telling you, it's rare that something debuts and then continues to climb. It's so rare. It debuts and it drops. So I waited for the drop and it dropped to 1.1 cent. I said, you know what? I'll get in now. And I did it just for supportive purposes. And now it's gone up to 4 cents. So you want to buy it at 4 cents? You can go ahead and buy it at 4 cents and fine. But I'm just telling you, folks, you do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I just love crypto. I study it as much as possible. And let me tell you, the tokenomics of the Miami coin, very questionable. Okay. I don't know if, it's a great investment. I threw a few bucks in there for the hell of it. I'm a hardcore crypto guy. So I want to be supportive of our city and our mayor for trying to help us out in crypto. So I wanted to do my part. And right now I'm getting lucky that I've tripled my money already at this point, and I can sell it. I'm not even going to sell it. I'm not. But I could if I wanted to. So I'm just saying. So, do you think QAM fired you for being too honest and not towing the? Oh, of course, dude. Yeah. It ain't going to be for lack of production. Okay. It's not because I don't have the skills to do this job. I mean, I'm sorry if I got to lay the ego down on the table, but I don't think there's a lot of people in town that can do what I do. Period. End of story. Okay? Especially I drive the show by myself. Most people can't even no, I'm just going to say almost everybody in radio, sports radio locally can't do what I do. Not even close. So it's not a lack of production. It's not a lack of sponsorships. It's not a lack of traffic. Obviously, look what you guys are doing for this show. What do you think it is? You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely, man. It's who I am. But I'm not changing my ways, man. I get it. Most people have to toe the company line. They got to kiss ass. This is their job. And they probably can't do what I'm doing right now, standing on my own 2 feet. But thank the Lord, I'm blessed that I have all of you out there being so amazing in the way you support us. And please smash the hell out of the like button. Please, please, please. That I can do this on my own. 5-10 years ago, I probably couldn't. So, Troy, hell yeah, it's about me being brutally honest. Yeah. Ask the people that were at the Vontae Davis draft. So we're at the Vontae Davis draft, and we're in Dolphin Stadium with the Dolphin officials all there back in the day. And so, you know, the station obviously partnered or whatever. And I'm sitting there with the late, great Jim Mandich, Joe Rose, and Jimmy Cephalo. And he gets drafted, Vontae Davis. And obviously all the guys, hey, great, this, that. And then I come out and say, hey, the kid can play, but he's got maturity issues. And I got booed by 2,000 Dolphin fans. Or maybe 1,800, maybe 200 of you didn't. Any of you out there were there that day? Was anybody truly there live? Because I got to figure, out of all the people that are chatting right now, there's got to be one of you was there that day. At least one. If those of you that are downloading the show, there's a ton of people downloading the show. I'm sure several of you were there that day, and you remember it. And because I said the truth, I got ridiculed by one host. I held back from going after him right there and then because Josh Darrow and Duff, was it Josh Darrow and Joe Bell or Josh Darrow and Joe and Duff Lindsay? I forgot which combination was standing right by there. And they looked at me and they looked at me with this face like, please, oh, please hold back. Don't go at him. And I didn't. And I let him try to embarrass me. Deep down inside, he couldn't embarrass me because I work for a living. I actually talk to pro scouts, people that like cover this business for a living. And they told me about his immaturity in Illinois. And they told me that he would tell the coaches, I'm playing for Sundays, not Saturdays. And I also found out that his brother gave him $50,000 to start the year because Vernon had been drafted by San Francisco. And back in those days, remember the big signing bonuses and the big money that they would give you up front to those rookies? So Vernon Davis got this enormous contract. And he gave Vontae $50,000 to start his final year in Illinois. And Vontae was just partying like a rock star. So I knew about all this stuff. And I said, hey, man, he can play. He's got talent, but he's got maturity issues. And sure enough, what showed its head? He could play, But I'm sure. I mean, I effing nailed it, dude. Now, people, there's the hardcore Dolphin fan that doesn't want to hear me tell you the truth. No. He wants me to wear the pom poms every day and tell you everything's going to be all right and this and that. That's not who I am. Okay. Plus, I put work into it, which is something that nobody else on that table could do. Right. And they weren't willing to also, even if they unearthed that information, they weren't going to say it publicly. But yours truly does. And so the Dolphin brass was like, they were pissed, all that kind of stuff. But the beauty of Josh Darrow, the beauty of Duff Lindsay, the beauty of Greg Reed, who I love those people, they let me be me. Okay? Joe Bell allowed me to be me. But once CBS took over and Intercom after that, those were just complete pussy-ass organizations. That's all. They were just complete wussies, wimps, Waldos. I'm nervous, and my socks are too. So, they were terrible. I mean, terrible, terrible, terrible organizations. And that's why they've been destroyed as radio stations all over the country because of that kind of move. But see, that's what I loved about back in the early days. They allowed, they would come, the word we love to use here, compartmentalize. They would tell the teams, hey, you guys are about the games. He's a reporter. He gets his information. If it's his information, he's reporting it. That's objective information. That's up to him. Whether you agree with it or not, that's another situation. But you think the Dolphin brass wanted to hear me say, yeah, he can play, but he's got maturity issues? No. You think maybe, one guy specifically on the table wanted me to say something? No. And then, of course, I have the blind-ass fan, the blind-ass Dolphin fan.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
That Dolphin wants me to tell you that Vontae Davis is the next Pat Surtain. Great player, great human being. I can't. Well, actually, Vontae wasn't a bad human being. Vontae was just an immature kid, is what it is. Now, let's separate the two here, okay? Because Vontae's not a criminal, not a bad dude. He was just immature. That's it. And immaturity, guess what? We're all immature. We all have to mature at one point in our lives. Vontae was not ready to mature at that time. That's all. And I called it. 1,000% I called it. You think that they were happy with that? At that moment, I'm a dick. Right? I'm a jerk. I'm this, I'm that. I remember when I was leaving, right, and I had to walk through the crowd. There were only a couple guys there like, hey, great job, man. Appreciate it. And then there were a couple guys, come on, why you got to be like that? I'm like, what do I got to be like what? Like doing my job, and you want me to tell you the truth? You want me to tell you what NFL people are doing when they're scouting the kid and what the book is on him? You don't want me to tell you that? Fine, I won't tell you that. Sorry. I won't tell you that Ray Malaluga was a functioning alcoholic. That's all. Why would I tell you that? I mean, when he's coming out of USC, I got people telling me, yeah, no, he's got issues, functioning alcoholic, and he ends up in Cincinnati. And then years later, you watch him here, and then as the alcohol issues gone away, no. So it is what it is. Big O, you were allowed to be you because Neil Rogers paved the way. Let's give credit to who the radio station cashed in on because the ratings came in high for Uncle Neil, the first shock jock. Yeah. But no, it's not. Tremolio, that's you have to understand, dude. Whether it's Howard Cosell, whether it's Neil Rogers, whether it's Hank Goldberg, whether it's Jim Mandich, because Jim Mandich in the middle of the broadcast will say, this performance has the what is it? The smell of cow manure or whatever, right? how many play-by-play, how many color guys are going to be that colorful? You know what I'm saying? There's a stench of cow manure over this Dolphin performance today. I'm paraphrasing, but Mad Dog would say that. You know, Will Allen got beaten like a cigar store mannequin. You know, that kind of stuff that Mad Dog would say, you know, it's a different era. It's just not Neil Rogers, my brother. It was Howard Cosell. It was all these people. And it was a way of the world. We can't be honest anymore. Now we have to be PC. We have to worry about hurting people's feelings. It's Red Fox, my brother. It's Archie Bunker. It's George Jefferson. These are the people that can no longer be on the air anymore. You can't have the Neil Rogers show anymore. You can't have Don Rickles doing his thing anymore. That's the difference. Mel Brooks cannot make the movies he used to make. We used to be able to handle the truth about ourselves. We used to be able to make fun of our deficiencies as people, as cultures, those kind of things. Now we can no longer do that anymore. Now you hurt somebody's feelings every effing time. And so all of these corporations now, they fear everything. The other day, one of you were asking me, well, the Bills, why are they doing this whole you must be vaccinated stuff or take the vaccine or whatever, show proof of it or whatever? What about the players? And I said, well, the players aren't in the stands. And they're not going to sue the league. There's a players union and all of that. But the Bills are doing the smart thing. They're doing the corporate thing. They're going to start creating what they feel is a safer environment. Why? So they don't open themselves up for lawsuits. They may not be all, vaccine crazy there with the Bills organization, but they're looking around going, well, what about if some idiot comes in that's sick? We allow him in and he starts coughing on people, and then we get somebody sick and then they die or they get bedridden. And we get sued because we allowed somebody in that we didn't test them and we didn't make them show us a vaccination card. And then he kind of backed off. That's this world, my brother. So it's not just Neil, it's the culture of our society. We have completely changed. We are a different culture now, and we are an incredibly sensitive culture now. So that's what it is. I used to be able on radio to tell you what I felt. Now I have to do it here without a corporate umbrella over me worried about it. I don't insult any culture, and I don't insult any sexuality, and I don't insult any race and any religion or any of that. But I tell you what it is and what's going on in the world and football and in sports and you name it. I never crossed that line that, I can have some fun, but like, let's say Nicki Minaj, I can have fun with Nicki Minaj, right? First, she tweets out that her cousin's friends, nephew, fellow, whatever, took the vaccine, got blue balls, and now is impotent. And then the guy that's in charge of Trinidad and Tobago said no such case exists. Nikki is a liar. And then Nikki says, I was invited to the White House. And then the White House says, no. So get ready, folks. Nikki's nose is going to grow as big as her ass. There you go. All right. Let's see. How would they get sued? LOL. Tickets have entered at will when buying them. Well, they entered at will, but they didn't expect somebody to cough on them and give them COVID. I get it, Ryan, dude. You're an anti-vaxxer and all that. I've already seen your shtick the entire time, bro. We're spinning wheels, you and me, bro. Okay, good. You're on one end, I'm on the other. It's over. All right, conversation done. Let's see. Tuttle says QM was very good back in the day when Neil, Mad Dog, Hank, Big O, and Eddie K from the GA was on. That's it. That's when radio was radio. Now it's just The garbage, you got the minefield that you've got to walk and stay away from. Big O, stay on here, man. Terrestrial radio is dead. I'm not going anywhere, bro. You guys have spoken. Okay? You have spoken. You are providing the platform. Well, we created the platform. You are providing the support that allows this to grow and grow bigger and bigger and bigger and give you. And obviously, this is what you want because we're getting more and more listeners and more listeners. Jack Enrod says WIOD was a juggernaut. Hell yeah, dude. You're talking about Phil Henry and Neil and Rick and Suds and there's one more. I'm missing somebody, right? I'm missing somebody. Neil, Rick and Suds, Phil Henry, because Phil Henry at night was, God, he was so good. He's still on. He still does his stuff. But Phil Henry may be one of the most talented radio people in the history of radio, period. I'm telling you, he is a freaking awesome stud. But yeah, you're right. The IOD was, wow, dude. That was fun talk. That wasn't sports talk. That was all general life, everything. They'd squeeze in some sports and all that because Neil was always a sports fan. And Rick and Suds didn't do it as much. But yeah, that's when radio was radio, man. Back in the day. Yeah, I'm with you. Big O, for my fantasy tight end, should I start Rob Gronkowski or Mike Gesicki? It's a great question, my brother. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm going to go with Gronk only because he looked really good in week 1. So I probably would start him and wait until Gesicki gets it going and wait until Gronk kind of wears down as the year goes on because he is an older player. But probably go with Gronk. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the dude scored 2 touchdowns, and he just looked super comfortable. Oh, not sure what your opinion is on Dan Le Batard. Haven't been listening long enough to know, but it's interesting to me to see how many people are going solo, including him. See this trend continue. Well, first of all, Dan is not solo. Okay? There's like 87 people on that show. Solo is this, dude. Solo is this when you carry the entire conversation yourself. That's solo. Nobody does this. Not Dan either. Okay, Dan did that long time ago when he first started on ESPN. Before this whole Dan Le Batard and everybody else that they've got on that show, and they do a great job. Their show is a riot and all that stuff, and it's not necessarily hardcore sports talk, obviously, but when they do some sports, they do a really good job overall getting to whatever subjects and stuff like that. But he's not solo. Okay. Not even you crazy. There are times he barely talks on that show. At least that's what I've run into. Not sure, but don't call it solo, please. Don't ever call it solo. He is the farthest from solo that exists in radio, actually. He is not even close. Joe Rose is more solo, and he's not solo because he's got Zach by his side, and obviously the producer does a lot of talking too. This is solo. That's different. But yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. The show went on its own and separated from ESPN, and the best thing that he did. But he's not solo. Big O should have Phil Henry and Brad the Booger on for Buffalo Week. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's start off hour number 3 right here on the program.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We are ready for hour number 3 of the program. Appreciate all of you for sticking in there with us and hanging in there. Let me see what I got on the text line. I hope you don't want to see you pull a Nick Saban on the future, Urban Meyer. No, I'm not going anywhere. Stop. Don't even bother. Don't even try. How many times do I rip Odyssey? Why would they hire me? Well, I ripped the idiot program director that's there. That freaking moron. How would I work for that guy? This is all on tape. They can rewind and they can go check it out. So we want to offer you a job, but do you think we're idiots? Yeah, I wouldn't work for you, and yeah, you're all freaking idiots. That's what they'll get from me. Okay? And GP Trap says, I must confess it was me on the Chick-fil-A. My bad. Please forgive me. Got used to YouTube where it shows your name. Well, GP Trap, I'm just pissed that I'm not getting any Chick-fil-A myself. That's what I think it is. Big O, I think fans are upset with Iggy's pick because of the following reason. The Finns passed on 3 starting running backs and his pick. It was a position that they needed and could have been addressed. Yeah, I get it. That's true. That's legit, but that's not what they're talking about. They're just talking about the player itself, and at this point, it just doesn't help you. By the way, let's bring on my man Yves Sham, American Dream Lending. How you doing, my brother? You doing all right?
Doing good. Oh, how about yourself? How's everything going today?
We're good, brother. We are getting ready for a little Buffalo Bills week. So hopefully the boys can make it 2-0 this week with beating the Bills and staying atop of the division, man. I'm hoping for that. You know what? I picked them to beat New England. So I'm one of the nutbags that got it right. And I got to tell you, man, I'm feeling confident. I think they can eke one out against the Bills this week here at home.
I mean, you're feeling confident. Oh, I know the entire Dolphins organization is feeling confident after the win. You know, it wasn't the prettiest win, obviously, but it was a win over our biggest rival and the biggest contender that we face in the AFC East every single year. And, the town's excited. We're looking to go 2-0. We're looking to take down Bills Nation this weekend.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, bro. Let's
going down.
The Bills Mafia. We got to take down the Bills and the Bills Mafia. And those dudes that like to dive on tables. Have you ever done that? Like the Bills fans, they get on the top of a truck and then they dive on a table. Is that something that interests you, Yves?
I like watching people dive on tables to see exactly what injury they're going to pick up on the way down. But I'm not diving on any tables, that's for sure.
Hell no, that is some crazy. And they do it like sometimes in the middle of cold ass weather, and we all know that those hits in cold ass weather just feel a little harder every time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, even us South Florida wimps, when it was like 50 degrees and you go out and play football, that hit felt a little harder every time, dude, when it was really cold out there.
It did. It definitely did. It definitely did.
So what do you got going on this week at American Dream Lending? Later on, Joe Shad will join us for the American Dream Lending Weekly Insiders Report as we talk all things Miami Dolphins with Joe Shad. You, sir, what do you got going on right now with American Dream Lending?
Well, right now, big in the market are cash out refinances. Homeowners accessing equity in their home because they have a lot of equity in their home. Even if they bought their house a year ago or 2 or 3 or even sometimes 6 months ago, they've accumulated equity. People are accessing this equity to remodel their homes, pay off their debt, pay college tuition for their kids, maybe take that big vacation and consolidate some of their other loans that they have so they can increase their monthly cash flow at home. So that's really been big in us helping people access that equity so they can have more money on hand to take care of bills and just enjoy life.
Yeah, and Eves, I think a lot of the people, because I remember when I was there about a week and a half ago, there was somebody that was doing that, and he was talking about building more in his backyard because a lot of people are staying home, dude. They don't want to go out to the streets. So they're building up their backyards. And I think that that's what's happening a lot, right? A lot of people are taking that equity and making their home like a better place to hang out, game rooms and all that kind of stuff.
They're building cabanas by the pool and building pools so they can watch a Dolphin game outside on Sundays.
That's what that guy was saying. That's what that guy was saying.
And this specific gentleman, he was actually looking to upsize. He needed another bedroom because he's having a baby, and figured out he had enough space to build a pool and add an extra bedroom and bathroom. So instead of him moving, he's just making a house bigger.
Right.
So
yeah. So a lot of people are doing that, I know, because obviously it's gotten crazy out there. Not just the COVID thing, just the streets are. I felt terrible the other day when that guy he was there with his family in South Beach, and that crazy guy just walked up and killed him. And he was such a young man, too, on top of all of that. It's kind of sad. So, yeah, I know people are building it up. So what do they got to do so they can take advantage of this, and you're going to help them out, Eves?
We're going to help them out. Today, what we have for the viewers and the listeners of the Big O Show is we are giving you $1,000 credit towards your closing costs to help you out and to get your refinance or to purchase your home. That's right. We're giving you $1,000. This is going out to the first 25 callers or 25 people to visit the website that mention the Big O Show. And we want to help you out, cut some of those costs down so you can go ahead and accomplish the goals you need to for you and your family.
How about that, dude? So if you're looking to upgrade the home, enlarge it, create a backyard where you can hang out more, call my man Eves, 786-930-4818. You see it right there.
No, that's the facts. That's the facts. Oh, that's a fact.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. 1727. Yes, the 1727 number. I'm sorry.
Yes, but you know what? Big O listeners, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 305-992-5218. You give me a call, send me a text, whatever works better for you. I want you to get me on the phone on the first call. So you guys call me directly. All right. I want to hear from you guys today. And I want to give away some money. So I got $25,000 to give away today. So let's make it happen.
All right. So there you go. $1,000 off your closing costs. Call my man Eves at 305-992-5218. That's 305-992-5218. You will get $1,000 off your closing costs. And in closing, who wins this week? Dolphins or Bills?
Fins up. Fins are taking this one. That's it. We're taking it.
Good stuff. Call them. $1,000 off. American Dream Lending. Go to the website, adreamlending.com. Eves, you're awesome, baby. I'll talk to you next week.
S Fins, let's go, baby. Have a good one.
You got it. There you go.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
Oh, there you go. Eves is a good dude, man. Great sponsor of our program. So visit the people that sponsor us and support us. Plus, $1,000 off closing costs. 305-992-5218. Call Eves right now and tell them that Big O sent you, man. They will definitely take care of you. All right, good stuff. As always, appreciate Eves. Hour number 3. We are waiting, Joe Shad, from the Palm Beach Post, and of course with our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report. So he will join us in a couple of minutes, and we'll have some fun. Bills, by the way, are favored by 3 in this game. The over and under is 47.5. Bills are minus 190, and the Dolphins are plus 160. I got to tell you, I think I'm taking the Dolphins plus 3, and I'm going to take the money line again at plus 160. I won last week with that, and it helped me because I didn't do too good in the other picks, and it brought me to 500. Thank you. But I was, listen, yeah, you know how it is. You get 500, you go 4-4 in your picks. Okay. But the best part was I won my 2 bets with the Dolphins. Okay. That to me is the ultimate, is winning the 2 games with the Dolphins, well, the 2 bets with the Dolphins, 1 game overall. That made me happy because the one thing I can't do is sit there and bet against my team and start rooting against them. You know what I'm saying? That kind of sucks with the Dolphins. The Canes, well, I have no hope for the Canes, so I might as well. I think the Canes still might win against Michigan State, but the point spread, I don't think they're that good to be giving that many points to that many people. Alexander News Show says, Big O, can you ever interview Hank Goldberg or you mean Ed Kaplan? I could probably. I don't know if they want to do interviews, but I can do it. I know Ed is still in town. Hank is in Las Vegas. Hank is in Las Vegas plunging his guts out, which I'm sure he's happy as hell being able to live there in Vegas. Seti says, hey, that wasn't Joe Shad. I thought he had grown a beard and put on a rubber band around his sack. All right, Joe Shad, baby. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
The legend that is Joe Shad. And remember, call my man Eves right now. $1,000 credit towards your closing costs. 305-992-5218. That is the owner's cell number, 305-992-5218. Call Eves right now and tell him that Big O sent you. Promise you they will take care of you. Joe, how you doing, my friend? You feeling good? Looking sharp as always? Is that like a den? Is that a living room? What is that part of your crib?
I'm in the kitchen right now. Behind me is the dining
kitchen?
table.
Oh,
and in that office over there is my wife.
So okay.
If she comes out,
I can't see her.
If she comes out, don't worry.
Okay, all right. You can't even see the dining table. You can't tell it's a dining table. Look at that. See? Nice. There we go. Very, very nice. I joke that. I like it. All right. First of all, how impressed were you with the victory overall? And then at the same time, what were the things that maybe you came out of it concerned with?
Yeah, it was a good win, Big O. Obviously the Dolphins offense looked really good on the first drive of the game and the first drive of the second half. You'd like to see some of the things that you saw on those drives replicated more often as we move forward here, in terms of more and more run-pass option, more and more tempo, more and more aggressiveness. Obviously, Tua got himself into trouble a couple of times with the aggressiveness. But I liked the way they closed out the game. And obviously, you have to like the way Xavier Howard, made a game-changing play. And other players also forced fumbles. Javon Holland and I believe Christian Wilkins, 4. So, yeah, these guys, the Dolphins draft players who know how to make game-changing plays. And I think the Dolphins defense gives their team a chance on Sunday against Buffalo. If you remember, they lost to Buffalo at home early last season. But in that game, Byron Jones went out early and Noah Igbenogany really got exposed and Xavier Howard wasn't healthy. So I picked the Dolphins to win the opener. I'm actually picking the Dolphins to pull off the upset against Buffalo on Sunday.
How about that? You and me again, because I'm picking them again to win this week too. I don't care how they do it, but it just that's the other thing that I think we have learned about Flo is that his teams are resilient, brother. And the ultimate lesson was the first year. He should have lost his team at 0-7, and yet they stormed back to go 5-4. That shows me that he's well in touch with his team, and he has a good sense of who belongs on the field, who doesn't, who's in a good mood, who isn't, communication wise. As tough as a dude as he is, it just seems like he has a sense of awareness of who his team is.
Yeah, they're very focused. They're very disciplined. They're very tunnel visioned. It can be boring from a journalist's perspective. Not a lot of guys say too many interesting things. Very Patriots-like. And it's Patriots-like in that it's, they don't worry too much about feelings. And what I mean by that is, hey, Benardrick McKinney, we're better off without you on the roster. I know you took a pay cut, but see ya. Sorry. Good luck. Thanks for your contribution. Mike Gesicki, one of the top receiving tight ends in the NFL last year. But you know what? In this game against New England, you're not going to play as much as Durham Smythe and Hunter Long. Maybe he played more than Hunter Long, but the other guys. Yeah. Because we need to focus on blocking, especially to help out Liam Eichenberg making his first start at left tackle as a rookie. So, whatever it takes to win. Brian Flores really does not care if you would prefer to see Tua throw it 40 times. Does not care what any media member or any fan wants to see or feels that he or she needs to see. All he cares about is finding a way to win. And you just have to imagine that way more often than not this year, he's going to do that.
I got to commend you because you really do compartmentalize this situation. I don't think everybody does this, but I got to give you specifically credit on this because you picked them last week to win. Yet when you came on one of the times here on the show, you were a bit frustrated that you asked to a question that he could have easily helped you out because it was kind of a fluff question about complimenting a player. And he then went to everybody else and doesn't really give you the meat of the matter at times. And he stays very general. And the coach does the same thing, which it's really easy for the media member then to get frustrated with the team and the individuals and kind of get sour on them. And while you mentioned that it's frustrating for you as a media member, you still compartmentalize the whole situation and you then pick the Dolphins to win. And so I give you a lot of credit because you're kind of separating the two. And I know it's got to be difficult for you because, dude, you got a job to do. And if people aren't helping you do that job, which the Dolphins don't necessarily help you do that job, it makes it that much tougher. And you could go the other way, which, you've seen it, you've watched it happen in person.
I feel a lot better just trying to be honest with the audience, trying to be honest with the reader, trying to be honest with the people who follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and who watch these videos, just try to be transparent and candid. Because I think too often in today's sports media world, folks sort of feel like they have to make a strong take. And maybe sometimes they argue a point that they really don't even believe that much, just because they feel like it's going to stir interest. I just, maybe that's a fault of mine, actually, because I try to play it down the middle as much as possible. Now, I'm a big, injustice guy. So if I feel that there's an injustice, if I think it's an injustice that Gesicki's not getting the ball, I will get fired up about that, and I will attack, I'll go after Flo or Godsey or Tua. Why isn't Gesicki getting the ball more? So, but sometimes it takes a lot to get me, angry. So we'll see. We'll see how many weeks in it takes me to get really angry about something Dolphins related.
What was your grade overall on Tua's performance?
Yeah, C plus. We're all hoping that he moves to that B plus area. Obviously, that was an egregious interception. Needs to get the ball out of bounds. If he's in fact trying to get the ball out of bounds, was nearly intercepted on a similar play. I believe it was in the second quarter. Made some nice throws, a nice deep ball to Devontae Parker down the right sideline, a nice deep ball to Jalen Waddle down the left sideline. It's obvious that the Dolphins are going to let him take some more deep chances this season, and that is, should be fun to watch. But they're at their best when they run that RPO stuff, man. The slants to Devontae Parker, and you saw Tua check to one at the end of the game from inside his own 5-yard line. Tua did share with me yesterday when I asked about that play that it was designed as a run call, and he decided to throw the ball. So a little cojones there from Tua, and you got to respect and appreciate that, because so often you would see Adam Gase give Ryan Tannehill up by 1 inside your own 10, 3 runs, a punt, and hope the defense holds.
Yeah.
And, Flo being a head coach with a defensive background, you would think that maybe he would want to play it conservative. But when I asked Flo about it, he said, we want to be aggressive. And yes, of course, you want Malcolm Brown to have a few successful inside runs to help run down the clock and force the Patriots to call timeout. That's logically part of a football strategy. But the fact that Tua was able to drop back to his own goal line and throw the ball in front of a much maligned offensive line, and we know it was a quick pass, ball has to come out quick. But, Tua is very accurate, and there's some questions that were brought up by J.C. Jackson, the Patriots cornerback, after the game about Tua's post-snap reads and going through progressions. And all involved admitted this week that is a work in progress for Tua. But one thing, Big O, that Tua is very good at is the pre-snap diagnosis. He knows when to get out of a run call. And he didn't have that flexibility, that versatility, that trust last year. And now he has more of that.
I'm with you there. And when you saw him explain that to you, because we played that press conference here on the show when it was going on. And the other thing that it looks to me like it's a check with me system, right? It doesn't look like it's a complete audible where he can change the protections, move completely, go to a different play if he felt like doing that. It looks like what he has right now, autonomy, is check with me at this point in time, correct?
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I have a complete, full understanding of every single thing that happened on that play. It did appear to me to be a run-pass option play in which run was the initial intention and the preference, but Tua faked the run and opted for the pass. One thing about the run-pass option offense is that the offensive linemen block as though it's a run, even when it's a pass. And so part of the reason in general why it causes confusion for the defense is that everything looks the same. So Devontae Parker, who caught the pass, may have thought that it was most likely to be a run, but he is taught to run that route and sell it as though it is a pass. And there is, of course, always the possibility that it would be a pass. And in this case, we give Tua credit for recognizing there were 8 players in the box, understanding that run is the more likely call in that scenario, but having the gumption and the confidence to make it a pass play.
Yep. So, and that's what a check with me system, it's either or for those of you that don't know overall. And I'm sure as time goes on, they'll open it up more and give him more autonomy to change everything up when he has to. But I think you have to, the key also there, Joe, is your line has to also be really comfortable too and playing well. But before you start getting crazy where you can change things up all the way around and you've got the whole playbook to go to if you felt like it. So that would be the challenge.
And they can't get too far downfield, Big O. That's one of the rules in the NFL.
Yes.
The offensive linemen on a pass, when they are run blocking in the RPO, if they get too far down the field, and this happened at least once in last Sunday's game, that is a penalty. So it's You really have to be quick. You have to make quick decisions, be decisive, and get rid of the ball quick. And Tua has his flaws, but those things are not Tua flaws.
All right. So when you looked at the film this week, which you always love to check out the film, give us your honesty on the good and the bad with the offensive line.
Well, Michael Dieter, I kind of want to give kudos to. I didn't think he was going to make it as a guard, and he played well at the center position. He seems to be a good fit for the center position. So the folks who decided to make that move, that is working out nicely for the Dolphins so far. Liam Eichenberg had 2 penalties, one of which was not accepted. And it appeared as though he had been run over by Josh Uche on that embarrassing play. But upon further review, he actually got his feet tangled with Solomon Kinley. Kinley kind of stepped on him. So, it wasn't as though he was just purely overpowered. Other than those 3 plays, Eichenberg was actually pretty decent. So it is interesting that Coach Flores says, hey, Austin Jackson is our left tackle, and we will, see if that remains the case. Eichenberg, has a chance to compete at left tackle, right guard, left guard, and, of course, to fill in, knock on wood, if there's an injury at any particular position. But, I thought in that game, Mac Jones was hit about twice as often as Tua. Now, part of that is the offensive scheme with the quick passing. But, even though Tua was sacked, I think, a couple of times, and Mac maybe only once, Mac was hit more often. And if you can keep Tua from being hit a bunch, that the Dolphins will sign up for that any day of the week.
Yeah, I give the kid props, dude. And by the way, they got 0 sacks. But I give Mac props. They pounded his ass. He knew he was going to get clocked, and he stood there like a man and delivered the ball several times. Monster props to that kid for that, because that's some toughness there, knowing you're going to get your ass kicked, but you've got to deliver the ball. I give him credit. All right, so you and I are picking the Dolphins. One of the reasons why I'm also picking the Dolphins is because of the additions of Will Fuller and Shaheem. I think this is going to open things up completely for the offense. I think Fuller and Waddle are going to terrorize the free safeties. I think they're going to open up the underneath for Parker, for Gesicki to do some damage in this game, maybe even some of the backs coming out of the backfield. I really like the additions of these 2 guys, because I think Fuller will add the element that, people thought maybe Albert Wilson was going to add and did not. This is why I'm picking the Miami Dolphins. I think their defense will bend but not break like they've done in the past, and they'll do enough to win the game. Your thoughts as we close it out?
Dolphins have lost 7 of their last 8 to Buffalo. The last time the Dolphins swept Buffalo, Jay Ajayi ran for 200-plus yards in each game. 2016, my first year back on the beat. What a fun ride it was with Adam Gase. Adam Gase and Jay Ajayi no longer around, nor is Cam Wake, who played in that game, Ryan Tannehill. A lot has changed. I do think that the Dolphins have a better chance to slow down Josh Allen, who has absolutely destroyed them, both through the air and on the ground. And I want to tell you one thing. I'm obviously not out of practice. I'm here in my kitchen. But the folks who are out of practice have noted on social media that Will Fuller is not at practice today. So we're going to look at the injury report later today to find out what Will Fuller's issue is. And, perhaps he just had a little strain. Perhaps it's a little precautionary. We don't know. Okay. And so having missed much of the offseason, coming back from an injury and finally coming back from a 6-game NFL suspension, I sure hope that Fuller is able to go on Sunday.
Yeah, or it could be precautionary because you practiced them yesterday, and then today it's kind of a rest thing, and then that's probably it. All right, so you got Dolphins winning, you got Dolphins going 2-0. Nice job. What are you working on the Palm Beach Post, sir, so folks can check you out?
Well, I posted a story a short time ago about that play where Tua was told to run the ball and switched to a pass late in the game. So I posted a story about that on the Palm Beach Post website. And I'm certainly, hopefully looking forward to talk to Jalen Waddle later today. It was a cool story after the game. He said he gave the game the first touchdown, the ball from his first touchdown to his mom. And, I love getting to know these guys as rookies because, they don't know what they don't know. And, they don't know to tell you fun stuff. They just tell you, like, yeah, I gave the ball to my mom. And Jalen seems like a good kid, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know him better.
Yeah, I can't wait till you guys have access in the locker room, dude.
Yeah.
That's really when your coverage really goes to the next level, when you can actually stand next to a guy for a couple minutes while everybody else is somewhere else, and you can get some insight and all of that. Because I know I've done it long enough to know that the locker room access is so key to really developing a culture and being able for you to show the fans what this team is all about, on the human interest side and on the football side, which is always important, which is some of the things you're talking about. Joe, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We will talk again on Sunday when the Dolphins take on the Bills.
See you, Big O.
You got it.
You ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have? American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All righty, we back. We thank Joe Shad with the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report. And don't forget that if you are looking to maybe redo your mortgage, maybe you want to get some equity out of that mortgage so you can improve your home, please call Eves at American Dream Lending, 305-992-5219. That's 305-992-5219. He is giving you right now $1,000 credit towards your closing costs. So make sure you call him and tell them that Big O sent you. They will definitely take care of it. They're really good people, man. Really good people. I've known Eves and I've known Anthony for a while. You will definitely have an excellent experience. I promise you that. Troy Ortiz says, damn, Fuller can't even practice back-to-back. Troy, don't overreact, dude. Remember, they've been very cautious with all players. Raekwon Davis, he's jogging on the sidelines. He's holding on to his helmet. We're like, well, wait a minute. He's questionable to return. He stood there the entire time, and then they put him on the IR. They have taken it easy with everybody that's been injured. So Fuller's a guy that has had lower leg injuries, a lot of them throughout his career. So maybe he was just, it's a precautionary thing. Maybe he practiced today and then let him, kind of recover a little bit and then practice again on Friday. And then he's ready to go because he'll have another off day on Sunday. He'll have no more than a walkthrough. And then on Saturday, and then on Sunday, he'll play the game. Now, what this does tell me is that either they're just taking precautions and maybe they're also not going to go all out with him too. So he might be more of a decoy than anything else today. Or Flo is effing with Buffalo. He's run plenty. They feel great about him. They're saving him, but they want to show this like, maybe he's a little slowed up, and Buffalo looks like, he's kind of slowed up, and then Sunday comes and he's got the twin turbos on. Okay? I don't know. We have to wait. We cannot overreact on all of this. So we don't know what this means, missing this right now. Looking forward to what Tua can do with all of his weapons. Hopefully Waddle and Fuller will torch the Buffalo secondary. Tremolio says, never allow a player to be bigger than the team. Always have many backups ready. No bloated homies. I get that. Oh, did you go to Coral Park? No, highly high. I am a thoroughbred. Okay. 1985 thoroughbred. Let's see. What else do we have on the text line? Fuller has stomach problems. Drinking up that Pepto, he probably ate some spicy food. Well, hey, if that's the case, even better. Okay. Dola says, Barry Jackson is the man. Let's see that. What else do we have here? Poseidon says that was an RPO. The linebacker pulled up, so Tua threw it. He didn't change. No, he did change the play, dude. He said he changed the play. It's a check with me. It was a running play, and he went to a passing play, dude. That's it's this world is amazing. They told you to change the play. He said it yesterday in the press conference that he changed the play from a run to a pass. In this world, people will tell you some facts, and then they will just turn it around. And Tua doesn't say much. He's not going to lie. I don't know if you know this kid, but he's not going to stand. If he doesn't want to tell you something, he'll just go general. But if Tua told you he switched the play, he switched the play, dude. I really don't understand this world. We have lots of people that you tell them the facts, and they don't want to believe the facts, dude. You got a ton of people walking around going, hey, the election was fixed. No, it wasn't. Trump just lost to a bum. Take it. That's the way it goes, dude. You lost to an old fart that really can't do much. But what are you going to do? But you got people that are convinced, oh, it was switched. Oh, no, something happened. No matter what, they will not change their minds. No, the election was rigged. No, dude, I get it. You're the guy that used to bring the football to the park, and then you didn't get picked. And since you didn't get picked, I'm going to take my football home with me. I get it. That's what we have now. Oh, I didn't win the election. No, let me try to rig it. Whatever, bro. It just really, it's amazing, folks. It really is. Like, when they tell you the facts are the facts. Tua doesn't lie, dude. He's not going to lie. He just won't tell you something. But if he tells you something, it's the truth. That's who that kid is. That's how he's made. This kind of dude doesn't really lie and deceive and mislead. If he changed the play, he changed the play. He said he changed the play. That is because some people can't think for themselves, they can't access the prefrontal cortex. I don't know what it is, but it's really baffling, dude. Like, those are the facts. Going back to championship celebrations, when the Marlins won in 03, my abuela went over to Alex Gonzalez's house, where he lived in the same neighborhood with Café Cubano for him and cheering him. That's nice. What else do we have here? 1983, Boyd Anderson. There we go. Let's all, Big Gary, let's all admit how freaking old we are. Big O, you have been saying nobody knows what Flo or Greer are planning. Exactly. Nobody talks to them. They don't talk to anybody. The majority of this room needs a blunt and a Xanax. Well, I definitely am not going to take any Xanax. Even when I'm in pain, I don't take painkillers. I'm not a big pill guy. Never have been. Even when I had my AC joint injury, and it was a 2nd degree, and boy, my shoulder was hurting, man. They gave me the painkillers. I left them in the bottle. Never, ever took them. Can't take them. Can't take them. And I'm certainly going to, I'd rather hit a fatty than if you tell me, okay, look, you got to relieve the pain. Have a Xanax. Well, Xanax is not for pain, right? That's for mellowing. Have a, what is it? What was it that they gave me? What was the name of that thing? Give me those pain pills, bro. What are they called? Come on. Shoot it up there, folks. What are those pain pills? Those things tear up your liver and your stomach, and it's gross. What is no, not Oxy. It wasn't Oxy. It was there. It's very common. Very common, not Oxy. Percocet. That's it. Percocet. That's what they gave me. They gave me Percocets, and I never took them. Left them in the bottle, and that's it. Sucked it up. I wish I had a fatty. That would have been better. Like, if you forced me, okay, you got to smoke a joint or you got to take a Xanax or what is it, a Percocet, I'm smoking the joint. I didn't have either, but unfortunately. But I'd rather smoke a joint than ever take those drugs. I think players are smart as hell that smoke weed instead of taking, what is it, Percocet, heroin. You guys. There's that other one, too. Codeine I've heard of. But there's another one. There's another popular one. Is it a Valium? Is that the other one? Or a Perc? There's another one. There's another name for another pain pill. Maybe it is Valium. I forgot what it is. Damn, now you guys are coming up with all kinds of things. Flocka. Percocet is Tylenol and Oxy. Okay, well, that's whatever it is, I don't take it. I took some of that stuff years ago, and it messed up my stomach. And I had diarrhea for like a couple days. I know it's too much information, but I said I'll never take pain pills. I'll just go through the pain, bro. Screw that. I am not going to do that. Crack cocaine might be better. See that? Fentanyl. There you go. You guys really want to kill me. Vicodin. That's it. Vicodin. That's the other one that I've run into. Percocet and Vicodin. There you go. No cocaine, no crack cocaine, no Oxy. You guys got me all doped up. Morphine. Tylenol with codeine. I used to take Tylenol with codeine when I was a teenager. I used to have migraines. And they used to give me Tylenol with codeine until they figured out I had polyps in my sinuses. And then they had to get rid of the polyps, and I've never had the migraines again. I've had bad headaches, but not migraines. Migraines are the worst, dude. Migraines is just, let me get into a dark room, leave me the hell alone. I don't want to talk to you or anybody else, right? And you know what used to help me also in my migraines, believe it or not? Vicks Vapor Rub. So my mom would rub Vicks Vapor Rub all over my forehead and the sinuses, and then I would lie in a dark room, and that thing would just get in there, and it would actually do the job. It would actually help out. I would also take, Well, Tylenol action too, but I remember the Vicks Vapor Rub used to help out a lot. I haven't used Vicks Vapor Rub since I was a kid. Is Vicks Vapor Rub to Cubans the same thing as in that movie that Windex is for Greeks? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Because back in the day, Cubans used Vicks Vapor Rub for everything. And I haven't even used Vicks Vapor Rub. I don't even think I have a bottle of Vicks Vapor Rub here in the house. That was back in the day. Vicodin is also Oxy and Tylenol. You guys know too much about this stuff. Let's see. Oh, did the NFL stop testing for marijuana? I don't know, but why would they test for marijuana? Right? Like, seriously, dude. What's marijuana going to do? Marijuana is better than anything they give them in those training rooms, and it's certainly not going to enhance anything. That's the thing that was even though this girl now, what's the name of the track girl that she acted like a complete buffoon? I forgot her name now. And then she got embarrassed in that last race where she was last. She was behind everybody. I forgot her name, but it was kind of stupid that you're suspending her. And I know it's WADA's rule and they're worldwide and everybody will have to go by the same rules and all that. But why are you suspending anybody for weed in track or in whatever? That doesn't enhance your performance in any way, shape, or form, dude. Right. Richardson. Is it Sharice? Shakari Richardson, isn't it? Shakari Richardson. There we go. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. Shakari Richardson. Yeah. And she's acted like a complete idiot, man. What a shame. She had everybody on her side until she started acting like, I guess, who she is. Total jerk. Big O, you want to sell me those perks? LOL. Nah, don't think that Josh had a big year last year because no fans now. He'll come back down to earth with stadiums getting loud. Okay, that's an interesting take on that. Well, listen, man. He already proved me wrong. Because I didn't buy him. I didn't know anything about him, okay? And NFL people are like, well, great arm, but no accuracy, this and that. Then I go to the Senior Bowl, and Josh Allen is spraying the ball all over the place. And I'm like, wow, this guy's a disaster. There's no way I would touch this guy. And the Bills then trade up to get him. And then he has a rookie year that is just brutal. And kind of follows exactly what he did at the Senior Bowl that I saw because I don't watch Wyoming football. And then what he did in years 2 and 3, I never saw this coming, ever. So he proved me dead ass wrong. So Chris, if he takes those steps back, then then he'll prove me right again. But it'll be a shocker, I got to admit. Because 1 year's an aberration. But then, and he played all right in his second year. And then he took it to another level his third year. I just think I'm wrong. I think he's turned into a good QB. But maybe you're right. We'll see. It'll be interesting. And you don't want to buy those pills. Those things are old already. Don't they? I don't even know if they're in my cabinet anymore from the shoulder. I have no idea. That was... when I messed up my AC joint, man, that was probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago. If they're still in that cabinet, are they any good 8 to 10 years later? I got to check it out. She'll probably tell me I threw them away, my wife, while she's stumbling. No, it's a joke. I have no idea. I don't even know if they're there anymore. I doubt it. She does enough cleaning around here that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's gone. Let's see. The NFL tells players when they will be testing for marijuana, so who gets busted is stupid. Well, that used to be the way. They used to test before training camp. I don't know if they're still testing for marijuana in the NFL because we haven't really heard guys failing anymore for marijuana now. I think they might have stopped testing for that. Maybe. I don't know. Or you're right. Maybe they just do the one test before training camp, the 2 weeks before, which everybody knows. So they get off weed for a month. That's what they used to do. I don't, I the last couple of years, I'm not exactly sure now because I haven't really kept up with that. And it's not like we've seen guys getting suspended for weed a lot lately. It's usually performance enhancing, those kind of things. But normally guys would go clean, for a month and then actually take the test, pass it, and then get back to smoking again. You are right. That's how it normally was. But I'm not exactly sure if that's how it still is right now. I'd be lying to you now. You have me a little confused on that one. When are you having one of those days that nothing beats a good enema? Ah, okay. I don't know. One of those days, nothing beats a good enema. Yeah, I guess so, right? I guess that's the time to get one when you're not having a good one. Yeah. If you get a bottle of super glue and put it in a bag and inhale, it's also tremendous. Also, the whippets from whipped cream. There you go. Tremolio, way too much information there, my brother. Way too much information. All right, let's talk a little Inter Miami football. The boys came up with a monster win, and the person that covers them on a daily basis is the great one, Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. You can follow her on Twitter, and you can see her there at Kauf Sports. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fasting. Today is Yom Kippur. I usually don't work, but for you, I will do this interview. So that's how important you are.
Thank you, Michelle. You are awesome. And I mean, we talk about the bad. We got to talk about when it's good too, right? And things are good.
It's been good. Yes.
Did you catch a leprechaun anywhere in that game? Because I got to tell you something. He clearly scored that goal. You clearly saw it in the replay, cross the line and then come back. I don't know how they didn't. I'm glad they did. I'll take the win any way you want with a skip to my Lou goal and everything. I love it. But that was kind of weird, okay, that they didn't find a way of saying, yeah, he scored that goal.
Yeah, well, I guess, they have to find it's like a court of law almost. It has to be, it can't be inconclusive. It has to be conclusive. And on the real-time video, it definitely looked like the ball crossed. On the slow-mos and the still pictures, it's hard to tell. But, I was before your thing, I was on the call with Phil Neville and Jay Chapman just to hear what they had to say going into the game tomorrow. And, Jay Chapman just talked 1 minute ago about, yes, they've had some lucky bounces in the last few games, but they earn them, that the good teams and the championship teams, they find ways to win and they get good luck. They kind of earn good luck in a way. It's been a complete turnaround. That was a big theme with both Phil and Jay from that 5-0 loss to New England, where they had lost 6 games in a row. Things looked terrible. They were demoralized. Some people were ready to fire Phil Neville. And now over the last 11 games, they've lost 1 game out of 11, and they've won 7 games. And they're winning different ways. They're winning in the 90th minute and the 95th minute. They won some other games earlier with 3 goals each game. But the bottom line is they're winning. They're on an amazing streak. That is a completely different team from the run in June and July. They were spiraling downward, and now they are soaring upward, and they are definitely in the conversation, in the mix, for the playoffs. And, it's a battle now. It's a numbers game from here on out. After the game the other night, they were in 5th place, which put them in the playoffs. But then last night, with the games that happened last night, they're back down to 8th place, and only the top 7 make the playoffs. So, they're in a real battle now, but the team is playing like a team. One of the main things that we discussed with Phil and with Jay is that up until that New England debacle, this was a group of individual players, some of them brilliant, talented players, but they were not playing together as a team at all. They were not fighting for each other. When the team would go down and have any adversity, everybody would just give up, start pointing fingers, get angry, show frustration, visible frustration you could see. Now, when they go down or have a period of adversity during the game, they really band together and they play for each other. And, the defense has been great with the new formation that we've discussed, I think last time, having more 5 guys in the back with the 2 wings. The new goalkeeper apparently is a very good leader. He's been doing really
wow.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. He's very good with his feet. They've talked about how it's like having 11 field players when he's there because he can join the attack. His punts are very long, and he has also contributed. There's a group of things. They got a new ping pong table in the locker room, and they keep talking about the ping pong table, that they're really into it. They have huge competitions of ping pong with each other. And I mentioned it to Ray Hudson, and he said that back in the Fusion days, they also put a ping pong table in the locker room, and that helped with camaraderie. So ping pong apparently is a key to success for all those teams out there that are losing. It's time to buy a ping pong table.
Ray did beer pong, Fusion did ping pong, and Inter did ping pong, right? So that's the strikers, the early day strikers, those guys were doing beer pong. I mean, there's no other way they were playing ping pong. That's for damn sure. Now, do you know that Phil Neville, I talked about this yesterday, yesterday. No, maybe it was the day before. Phil Neville and Brian Flores have something in common. Did you know that?
No.
Aha. Phil Neville and Brian Flores both inherited dysfunctional situations. Phil Neville and Brian Flores both started losing a lot of games and not playing really. Their teams weren't playing really well. He started 0-7, and somehow or another, his team then caught fire, got on, figured it out, finished 5-4, which shows that his coaching was always working throughout, and he had never lost the locker room.
Right.
Phil Neville faced the same kind of adversity. His team was playing terrible. His team could not get it right, all of that stuff. And now you watch the role they're on. I got to give this man all the credit in the world. He has found a way to figure it out, and they win. And I know they've made some changes, but they could have also tuned him out and given up on the man, and they did not. And I see a lot of similarities with both coaches in their rough starts and then turning things around. I've been very impressed with Phil Neville because I never saw this coming.
Right. Well, he talked about he said just today that after that 5-0 game, they had very serious conversations, obviously, with that locker room. And he said to them, I didn't move my whole family from England to Miami to fail. I did not move my whole family from England here to fail. This is Inter Miami. We are not allowed to fail. We have, there are very high expectations from the fans, from the ownership, and, every person on this team and the coaches needed to look in the mirror and say it just wasn't acceptable the way they were playing. It was just not good enough. It was not acceptable. And he stressed again that all of the brilliant skills they have mean nothing if you don't play together as a team. And he really, really, really has instilled the team mentality. They're having meals together, mandatory group lunches where they're focusing on one nationality's food of, whether it's Venezuelan one week, Argentine food the next week. There have been a few things they've done away from the field to try to bring the team together more. And then on the field, it's very clear that, they're playing for each other now. They're covering for each other's mistakes. When a guy gets the ball taken from him, there's another teammate right there to help that guy out and clean up his mess. And, those are the signs of good teams where people are together. So, I think, Phil, there were people I was not one of them, I will say. I said it takes time. And another thing he talked about was that he always felt coming in that it was going to take 6 months. He said it takes any coach 6 months coming into a new situation where for the team to understand you and for you to understand the players. And he had to learn player by player how to push all the different buttons of all these players, what their strengths and weaknesses are, where to best play them on the field. He said that doesn't happen in 1 month when you're in training camp. That takes 6 months. And he thanked the ownership, for sticking with him because he knew it was going to take 6 months. And he said that, to be honest, he started in January, and it really wasn't until the end of July that things started turning around. So it was a little bit over 6 months. Now things are going very well. They have not been scoring as much the last couple of games as they were in the previous group of games. He said part of it is, he doesn't mind as much because the defense has had 4 clean sheets in a row, is playing well. And you're not always going to win pretty, especially on the road. But if your defense is getting clean sheets, 1 goal is enough. Right. But they are definitely looking to score more goals. I mean, they're not satisfied. They want to play better. He did say that although the game the other night they won, he was not happy. He said he was angry after the game.
Wow, they dominated that first half. It was let me tell you something. That was some of the best passing this organization has had in its short tenure and into his second year. I saw some beautiful passes, great anticipation. You could tell that the chemistry is really coming together and they're getting a real good feel for each other. But Robbie had a couple of chances. Guys had opportunities. They could not capitalize.
Robbie had chance. Vasilev had a chance that went wide or high or something. And there was somebody else. There were 3 players that had opportunities that, I'm not saying it's easy. It's obviously harder than it looks, but they blew opportunities. They had chances. Phil just said we had a chance in the first half to turn that into an easy game. And instead we made it a hard game. And it took all the way for, the heroics of Christian McCoon of all people, to come rushing into the box and get the PK and, get the penalty and then demanded that he's going to take it. This guy showed an incredible amount of guts and courage to be the guy, a defender who, had not been a key player for this team for a long time, to say, hello, I'm taking this. And he did, and did it in his own unique style and put it away. And they win the game on that. But it shouldn't have taken, Toronto is a team that has given up 49 goals, the most in MLS by far. They have the most, open defense, giving up 49 goals. And it took Inter Miami, a 95th minute crazy heroic PK to win that game. So that is not, Phil was not happy with that win. He said, I take it. I accept it. This happens sometimes, but if we keep playing like that, the luck runs out. So
right. I'm with you there. Now, walk us through this, because the skip to Mailou penalty kick by McCoon, there was like the Toronto was up in arms with all of this. Have you heard anything? Is there anything controversial about that kick? Because clearly it was a little different than what we're used to. And so we're all wondering, was there anything illegal to that kick, or was it absolutely legal to do it the way he did it? Any controversy coming off of that kick?
There hasn't been that I've heard of. I mean, of course, we're here, we're not in Toronto, but no, I mean, he said, I actually asked him after the game about that unique style. He said he's always done them that way. He said that is how he does PKs. That's how he practices them in practice. That's how he did it when he was younger. I mean, this is how he does it. He said it's very tricky for the goalkeeper. It's very confusing for them. And for him, he finds it a very easy way to score. And, he's a left-footed player, so he goes, with the left and makes that weird hop with the right. He said he's always done it that way, that's the way he likes to do PKs. So it was just, I was watching going, what the heck is that?
Yeah, I was wondering. And then they were all up in arms, and I'm going, is this legal or not, or whatever? And because he, in a way, if you look at it, it seems like it's normal. It just looks weird, but
Yeah, he didn't stop. I mean, I guess their
right, he never
contention was that
stopped.
he never
Right.
stopped moving. It's not that he ran up, stopped, and took a kick. He was in motion. It was
Right.
just weird motions. It was jumping, hopping motions. It was, he jumped. He like ran up or jogged up, and then with his right foot, he made a giant leap, and then he pulls his left foot back and takes the shot. So, yeah, it worked.
Well, listen, I talked to them about NFTs a long time ago, and I heard Jorge talk about how, they did the deal with the cryptocurrency and they want to do NFTs. You better make that goal right there an NFT, because that would actually be, pretty interesting. And I think people would be interested in that. So did XBTO cutting the deal with the jerseys and Inter, did it motivate you to get into crypto?
I don't understand crypto still. To me, I actually said to Jorge when I was chatting with him the other day, or yesterday, maybe you can explain it to me. I mean, to me, it's like monopoly money. It's like, okay, we say that it's valuable and therefore it's valuable. I guess that's the same with any currency.
It's like a credit. It's like a credit card. It's like checks. It's you've been doing digital currency forever.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a different way of digital currency.
It's a different way, right? And the government isn't involved, and I get it. I mean, it's a way. It's the governments are not going to like it, but private citizens do, and it's definitely exploding. I know that. Jorge said that a lot of people are saying it's the holy grail. This is it. This is, they wanted to get involved in it. And, Miami in general with Mayor Suarez, he is all over the crypto thing. He wants Miami to become the crypto capital of the universe. So,
I like him.
I'm not surprised that they got involved with that. I know that Jorge and the mayor are close, and the mayor is totally on board with crypto. And so now look, the Miami Heat plays in an arena that's named after crypto. And this, Miami FC, different team, different league. Inter Miami now has the crypto sponsor. And it's a big company. It's a company that was based in New York, and they just moved their headquarters to Miami. It's a global company. This is a team that has global reach. So I think it's very interesting. And it was about time that they got a shirt sponsor. And I think that This one is not controversial. Initially they had talked about a transportation, like a cruise. There was some serious talk with cruise companies, before COVID. I think there were some very deep conversations with a couple of the cruise companies because it's Miami and cruising and all that. I think with COVID and the cruise industry suffering the way it did, those conversations, I think, dried up for a while. And then there were the rumors of the, conversations David Beckham was having with Qatar and these Arab, companies. And that was not going to go over well from a PR optics standpoint because of human rights issues, because of Jewish, Israel, this and that. It's too controversial here in this community. So this is not controversial. This is an up and coming, industry that everyone's talking about, that everyone's interested in, whether they understand it or not, everyone's interested in it. And I think it seems to be a good partnership for them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. All right. So what do we expect tomorrow night against the Red Bulls, Michelle? Give us a little preview of your preview.
All right. Well, the preview is, number one, I'm expecting a really, I don't know if a full house sold out, but I think it'll probably be one of their biggest crowds of the year, from what I can tell. The Red Bulls are a team that is a very high pressing team. It's been discussed. We just talked about it with Jay Chapman, that's a team that they like to press really high, much more than other teams. They have a very unique style. And if you make mistakes, they will capitalize. If you make mistakes and give them the ball in a dangerous position, dangerous area, they are the kind of team that likes to pounce on those and capitalize. So they're going to have to be very careful with the ball. One thing you should know, which I'm about to write, is Robbie Robinson and Gregory are both questionable for the game. Both have some minor little injury things. So neither one of those is a definite for tomorrow. Gonzalo will be back Gonzalo Higuain will be back. He did not travel to the last game. So he will be there. Robbie is questionable and Gregory is questionable. Victor Ulloa is still out also. So, they may be missing a couple key players, but the other guys are going to have to step up. It's at home. They've been having really good success at home recently. They've been winning all their games at home over this streak. And I think it's 5 in a row at home that they've won. So I think it's going to be a really exciting game. They're going to be wearing their new sponsored jerseys for the first time. They're going to have a big crowd. They're on this incredible roll. And, they're in 8th place. They want to jump above that magic number 7. So I'm predicting a very exciting night tomorrow night.
I'm looking forward to it. As always, Michelle, thank you for taking some time. Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. And what are you working on, the Miami Herald? You got anything brewing for us to check out?
I do, but I can't tell you. It is not soccer related. It is baseball related. And looking on the front page of next Wednesday's paper. So that's all I can tell you. Yeah. But as far, other than that, Inter Miami, with one baseball story thrown in to look forward to next Wednesday.
All I can ask you is, was I close with my text?
No.
No. Damn. Okay. All right. Okay. I can't say what I sent her. I would have to kill all of you if I do that. So I can't do that. Gotta stay quiet on that. But we look forward to that story on Wednesday, and we look forward to Friday night story of another Inter Miami win. That's going to be awesome. Michelle, as always, thank you for taking some time. We always appreciate it.
Always fun to talk to you. Thank you.
You're the best. Thank you. The great Michelle Kaufman talking a little Inter Miami football. Love talking a little Inter Miami football. There's nothing wrong with talking a little Inter Miami football.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
There we go. Appreciate Michelle Kaufman. Let me see what I got here, because let me get to your questions and your comments here in a second. Do me a favor, just give me a minute here. Let me give you a short break here and reset, and I will then answer your questions, because we are into the next hour.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Fly Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing a personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing a personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Back, hour number 4 here on the program as we get you ready for a beautiful weekend. Tomorrow, we will be absolutely loaded. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the hell out of the like button. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Caneswear at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. So please come on out and join us. We'll be out there from 10 a.m. on till about 1:30. You never know, right? You never know how long we're going to be out there having some fun. So we'll be out there. Come on by, say hi. Bring me a La Spada sub. No. I'm joking. I will get a La Spada sub later or something. Maybe I could get my chicken biscuit tomorrow morning, right? Chick-fil-A is right across the street. Haven't had one in a while. That's like my favorite breakfast in the world is a Chick-fil-A biscuit. So sick. As much as I love French toast, by the way, which French toasts are my favorite. I can have my waffles, I can have pancakes, but I got to have French toast. So tomorrow we'll be at Caneswear, so please come on out. Sunday, we're going to be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes, right off of 154th in the Palmetto. We're right on the west side of it, so right when you get off, you go west, and it's the immediate shopping center that's right on your right side. Sports Grill is inside there, so please come on out and join us. Remember, we start 2 hours before game time. Game is at 1 o'clock. At 11 a.m., we'll be on. We'll have our insiders, Omar Kelly, Alan Pupar, and Joe Shad joining us in pre- and post games. So we will have access to the boys. They will be out there. So we encourage you to do all of that. What else? Remember, we've got our text line now. So if you're listening on the podcast at any time, day, night, weekends, I don't care, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 is the text line. So always appreciate all of you out there for helping us, man, and supporting the show the way you do. You guys are absolutely awesome. Can't say enough about what you guys have provided us here on the program. And we're already averaging over 1.1 million downloads in the last 30 days. And that's all of you out there continuing to do it. Oh, stop eating bread. I know, right? I wish I could. I need to lose some weight, bro. Thank you for always delivering. Keep grinding. Thank you, Dougie Fresh. Appreciate you. Troy says, not a soccer fan, but I am rooting for Inter. Good luck for them. I know, I get it. Some of you tune out because it's soccer and all that. At least Troy was nice about it. Some of you other folks out there are like, soccer sucks. I'm out. I'm leaving it. I don't know why we're talking about soccer. It's only football. I can only eat football. We need to get you back on track, eating better. Yeah, I know. I need to have the discipline. My problem is I lack discipline. I do it for a while, and then I get on the good track. I lose my weight and all that, and then that's the pandemic hit this time around. All the other times it wasn't a pandemic, but this time around was the pandemic, being home all the time, and that was terrible, man. My often and out world ended, where I was traveling a lot and being out all the time and on the go and all that. I need to get that back. I definitely need to get that back. Giovanni says Inter Miami has a lot of bad luck last season, and up until that 0-5 loss to New England, now they have some luck. Balances out. Amen to that. I can tell you watch, sir, because they had a lot of bad luck. So I don't mind some of the breaks going their way, because last year I remember they got a whole bunch of red cards too when they shouldn't have. Pain in the ass last year. Last year there was a lot of bullshit that happened to them that just was absolutely unfair, and they had terrible luck last year. Now, they've had a couple of things go their way, and that is just absolutely awesome. So I got no problem with that one there. What else do we have? Let me see if I have anything new, any new questions or anything on the text line that you all have been bringing up. Let's see what we got here. What else do we have here? Okay, I don't think there's anything new on the text line. So thank you all out there. And 855-912-1056. Remember, you can support the show through Cash App and Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Marlins defeated the Nationals yesterday 8-6. Jesus Sanchez with 2 home runs. They're off today. Tomorrow they start a set with the Pirates, and Eliezer Hernandez will be on the mound. Hopefully he will have a better time out. Urban Meyer. So Urban Meyer comes out to kind of say, no, I'm staying here in Jacksonville, which he has to say that. Now, remember, his heart can always come up. You know, the issue of his heart, that's something that none of us can ever prove, right? Right or wrong and all that. You can believe whatever you want. I don't believe a damn thing that Urban Meyer ever says. As the late, great Mad Dog would say, I wouldn't believe Urban Meyer if his tongue was notarized. So I agree. I would not believe Urban Meyer even if his tongue was notarized. And Urban came out, and I know his wife kind of took a backhanded shot like, hey, we're set here in Jacksonville and all that kind of stuff. And Urban said there's no chance he'll take the USC job. He could have had that job last year when he was rumored for it also, if that was true. And the look would be terrible if he left. Now, I don't think he really cares about how he looks, because we're talking about a scumbag that protects a guy that beats women. We're talking about a loser that had like 33, 37 arrests while he was at Florida. Okay, this is a guy that has no scruples. This is a guy that saw that things at Florida weren't so good and maybe his recruiting classes weren't that good, that he all of a sudden developed a heart issue and couldn't, coach anymore. Yet a year later, he found himself at Ohio State. That's the guy we're talking about. Urban Liar is, just garbage is what he is. Straight hot garbage, as the kids would say. Urban Liar is hot garbage. Now, I don't want him to go to USC. I'm glad that he's come out to say that. I want him to stay in Jacksonville. Do you know why? I want to see him fail miserably. Saban had to go through it, and he realized, this is not for me. I'm out of here. And it took him 2 years. That's probably what it'll take. Urban Liar is probably about 2 years. He'll figure it out, and then everybody else will say, oh, okay, yeah, he wasn't built for this. Even though a lot of us, I think, are kind of already, doubting it. Like, I'm one of them. Okay, if he does succeed, it'll be a surprise to me that he succeeds at this level. I don't think he has what you need in order to succeed at this level. And with all the stuff that's come out of Jacksonville already the last couple of months, it's been kind of ugly. But I want to see him fail. I want to see him go through a brutal stretch. I want to see how he gets to feel that he doesn't have 4 and 5 first-round picks every year like he was able to do at Ohio State. Saban had the same issue. You get 1 first-round pick, doggy. Make the best of it. I want to see him do that. I want to see coaches in the NFL out-scheme his ass, out-coach his ass. I want to see him get frustrated with pro players who make a lot of money and can tell him to go screw himself, that kind of stuff. I want to see him go through cap hell and cap mistakes and free agent mistakes. Seriously. Now, I feel bad for Jags fans, right? Because they've been saddled with enough. Think about this from they've never recovered from their early days. Everything that went on with the Mark Brunell years, which were pretty damn good years, right? Brunell, Hardy, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor. That team was loaded, dude. They had some players on that team. Those first couple of years with Jacksonville, and that's got to be frustrating as hell for the Jags. That they were so successful early on, and they looked like they would be a franchise to be reckoned with early on because of all the things that they did, and then they end up where they're at now. And you see Tony Boselli on that team and all these. There were some names, dude. If we go back to those days, those were pretty damn good teams. And somehow or another, they never, ever found that kind of magic again. That team was badass. That's the team those are the teams that routed the Dolphins 62-7 in Marino's final year. So I know that, we're talking the 90s. And that's how bad they've been for a long. I know a couple years back they had a really nice defense, but they had Blake Bortles, unfortunately. And that went by the wayside. They had another window. That was the other window when they had those defensive players with Malik Jackson and all those guys. They just couldn't figure it out on offense. You had Blake Bortles, dude. So those teams were kind of frauds. But those early days of Jacksonville, there was nothing fraudulent about those teams. I know they didn't win a championship, but they were freaking good, dude. Got to be frustrating for them and for that fan base. But I just take pleasure in watching Urban Liar lose. It's going to be a lot of I want to see like a big old bottle of Kale Pectate just make its way to the sidelines and park itself like right next to it. I don't know if Kaopectate makes a big bottle that they use like a mascot. If they do, send it down to Jacksonville. You got a Tums roll, a big old Tums roll, park it right next to Urban Liar. He's going to need it. Byron Leftwich. That is Tom Brady's offensive coordinator now in Tampa. Yeah, Byron Leftwich is there. Yeah, but they were better with Brunell. Brunell was the better quarterback. And Leftwich will always be known for those moments in Marshall, isn't he? I mean, those of us that are old enough to remember that. But that was an amazing moment with Byron Leftwich, that he had a leg injury. And for those of you that don't know and you're kind of young, go look at Byron Leftwich, Marshall, injured leg, I guess you can put, and then it'll come up. And that guy, and think about this. You go back and look at those plays. He was so injured he couldn't run around. So his lineman, he would throw the first down, and then his lineman would carry him to the next marker, and then he could do the huddle real quick, and then and kind of limp right behind the offensive, the center, and then get ready for another play. Hell, maybe he was doing a shotgun and everything because he couldn't move. And then after he would get a first down, they would carry him again. He would put his arms over the offensive lineman's shoulders, and they would literally carry him to the next marker. It was an amazing scene. Amazing level of toughness on Marshall's part. On Leftwich's part. Leftwich never turned into a really good NFL player. He was mostly a backup because his delivery took like 87 years. In college, he got away with it. But in the NFL, you cannot telegraph your throw and just... It was like the $6 million man in slow motion. And it was just, it was detriment. But it is one of the great scenes in college when Byron Leftwich is getting carried by his teammates. I wonder if I could find it and show it to you guys, since some of you might be at work and all that stuff, because it is. Now, what I wanted to bring up is, now that came up, since you brought that up, think about today's world. Here it is. It says broken leg drive. How about that? Okay. So we can actually do this.
Leftwich again on 2nd and 10. Seam route. He's got Darius Watts inside the 35 and all the way down to the Akron 33-yard line.
Now look at this. The offensive linemen are carrying him down. I think this is the first. I've not seen that.
Never. That's amazing.
Help the homeboys out. And Darius, what we say, keep them short. No big plays. Well, D. Watts come back and makes up that touchdown he did get in the end zone.
Is that awesome or what?
Absolutely. Herculean effort from Byron Leftwich.
That is absolutely awesome there. And they're carrying him. Can we replay that again? Let's replay that again.
And that'll do it from Mount Michigan.
Oh, wait a minute.
Everything the Chippewas have and a little bit extra.
Okay, there we go.
Leftwich again on 2nd and 10. Seam route. He's got Darius Watts inside the 35 and all the way down to the Akron 33-yard line.
Is that amazing?
The offensive linemen are carrying him down. I think this is the first. I've not seen that.
Never. That's amazing.
He's got a broken leg, and they're carrying him. Is that awesome or what? Now, you could never do that today. They would not allow you to do that ever today. They would get your ass right off the field. No. No, but Coach, Byron Leftwich did it 20-something years ago. No. No, we're not doing that. No shot. No shot you would ever be able to get away with that play today. That's how, and right or wrong, which we all know that was wrong. Seriously, how are you going to keep a guy in a game with a broken leg? Especially a quarterback that's immobile. And Byron Leftwich was normally immobile because he wasn't really a runner. He was a pure passer. He was a drop back passer. He was a real quarterback. And so he wasn't really going to run anyway. And now he can't run at all. He can't even jog out of the way, move a sidestep or anything. And you're going to leave a guy with a broken leg able to take a shot. Somebody breaks free off that line, and he could get even more hurt than what he is already. Pretty amazing stuff, man. Pretty amazing stuff. But there's no way you get away with that nowadays. Different world, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely different world. And to this day, that is still what he's known for most. And he was a good quarterback in college. Good quarterback for Marshall, all of that. But that play is historic, man. Historic. Raphael Courtright says, yeah, I can't do that now. NFLPA, I remember my high school coach grabbed my face mask. Coach was ex-Oilers linebacker, LOL. The Jags should have traded down on the number 1 pick and loaded the team for years. You never take number 1 pick in the draft. Too much to live up to. Well, it all depends on what number 1 pick you get. You could end up with a guy that's pretty damn good and could change your entire, franchise if it's the right quarterback. Great show. Going to be at the Hard Rock this Sunday for this huge divisional game. Never been to the stadium. Driving from Orlando. Can't wait, man. Go Fins. Well, Carlos, come on by the Sports Grill right after the game. We're 15 minutes away, right there in Miami Lakes. And then you can say hi to us. Order some special grilled wings, dude. The most delicious wings on the planet, and then take it back with you to Orlando. The turnpike is right there. You can get on the turnpike right there. The exit or the ramp to get onto the turnpike is close by. You get on the turnpike and you get your ass back to Orlando, and you take some of the great wings. So come on by and say hi to us, Carlos, over at Sports Grill on Sunday. We'll be broadcasting live 2 hours before. How much of a difference do you think Raekwon Davis missing the game is going to affect the defensive line? Fins for life, I can tell you this. Buffalo's not a power running team. And Omar had a good call on Monday on that one, and he reminded us of that, and he's right. They're really not a power running team, so Raekwon won't make as much a difference this week as it was last week. Last week, you really needed him against New England. This week against Buffalo, their backs aren't those kind of guys. They're going to challenge you more on the edges, actually, than anything else. And pass catchers, too, especially Singletary, who we all know from his FAU days. Kid's just a terrific all-around athlete and an exceptional wide receiver. So this week, you may not miss him nearly as much. That's what I can tell you. And I also wanted to, we were going to talk a little bit about I was thinking about the receivers for the Miami Dolphins, and we saw that Will Fuller, was not at practice today. And remember, Albert Wilson is a guy that could be inactive this week now, but if Will Fuller is not healthy, then Albert Wilson will be back on the field again. I don't know if you keep Albert Wilson active if Will Fuller is also active, because then that's a lot of players that aren't helping you out on special teams. That would be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's interesting, that whole development with the wide receiver. Let's see, what else wings are the best. Yes, they are. Let's see. Can't do it. I love me some garlic bread. Okay. I think a lot of us love garlic bread. I mean, garlic bread it's pretty awesome. All right, what else do we have going on? So Urban Liar is out of the USC race. Oh, you saw the Cowboys, DeMarcus Lawrence, their best defensive lineman, broke his foot in practice. He's out 6 to 8 weeks now. And Randy Gregory tested positive for COVID. So you got your best pass rushers out against the Chargers this week. And and our boy Justin Herbert there. See what happens in that one. But you talk about bad luck. I know the Dolphins have had some bad luck, but they haven't had the kind of bad luck that we've been seeing around the league with other teams. Thank the Lord. We got the dude. Do we have to get the Giants in Washington tonight? Okay. I look, some of you out there that might be listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube or on Twitter or whatever, you might be Giants fans, you might be Washington fans, and so you might get a little butthurt with this. Is it just me, or I'm a little sick and tired of the NFC East? Is it just me, or I'm sick and tired of listening to people hype up that crappy ass division? And in what part of your mind made you think that Giants and Washington would be a good Thursday night game? I got to watch Taylor Heineke against Daniel Jones, dude. That's what I'm forced to watch. I wish they would take some more time. That if you're going to have primetime games, come on, man. Make them somewhat interesting. There are no storylines here that I'm interested in. None. The only one in the NFC East that may be somewhat intriguing is if Jalen Hurts is what he was last week. One, he would prove me wrong, by the way, because I didn't think he would become that good of a quarterback. But, I mean, great athletes can have great moments. Doesn't mean they're great, quarterbacks. But Jalen Hurts had one hell of a debut last week, dude. He looked all world. That's the one that intrigues me. Dallas doesn't intrigue me. Even healthy, Dallas doesn't intrigue me. Washington certainly didn't intrigue me with Fitz, or even less now with Taylor Heineke. The Giants, oh, give me a break. Who the hell is buying Daniel Jones? But I'm so tired of this league. I'm tired of the media shoving this stinking division down my throat, bro. It's the most overrated division. It's the most over-talked about division. I don't even know if that's a word, but we'll say it. It's a division that gets way too many primetime games that it does not deserve. God, I'm just so tired of watching the NFC East and all the buffoonery that goes on with that division the last couple of years. Can we treat them like what they are? Scrubs. Scrubs that nobody wants to see outside of the fan bases that follow those sorry-ass teams. So tired of the NFC East getting any kind of spotlight, dude. Really am. Just absolutely sucks. Let's see. What else do we have here? No, sir. Dallas is Dallas, and until the owner passes the next level, Dallas will never get to the next level. Yeah, yeah. I hear that story every year about Dallas. I'm kind of a little tired of hearing the story about Dallas. How about this? Did you guys see the security guard that got nailed by a practice shot by Cristiano Ronaldo? So apparently this lady got hit by a practice shot. Not that, Cristiano was aiming at her or anything, but it happened. And it happens. I got hit by a football from Jay Cutler. And the football skipped off the grass. It was a pass from the middle of the field to the sidelines. I'm at the Senior Bowl. And he throws a pass. Yeah, yes, I'm old. I get it, dude. Relax. Okay, so Jay Cutler throws a pass. He's coming from Vanderbilt at that time, and he's at the Senior Bowl, and he throws a pass, and it doesn't get completed. And as the pass is sailing, it hits the grass, and hitting the grass, it then bounces up in the air. And I'm standing by the fence, and the ball goes like this. I'm like, whoa. I didn't even see it coming. And it hit me on the head. It didn't hit me like really hard or anything. It kind of like edged me. So it's all right. Plus, I've got a noggin that's made out of iron anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, you get hit on the head. So it happens to anybody, right? It's possible. And this woman gets hit by a practice shot by Cristiano Ronaldo, which, that thing was humming. Okay. And Jay's pass was humming. Because you think about how much of a spiral that ball had to be to hit the ground and then go back up again. I used to see Marino and whether whoever was the backup quarterback at the moment, and he would actually practice throw, and he'd throw it on the ground and it'd go up in the air to the other quarterback or a tight end or a receiver, and he would Marino had all kinds of trick shots. Marino had this shot, and I shit you not. All right. The guy would be 20, 30 yards away. Ed Perry, receiver, another quarterback, the backup quarterback. Right. And so I'm going to try to see if I can keep it in the picture. So Marino would obviously standing, and he'd look at the guy. Right. And so then he'd throw it this way. So the arm would go all the way over, and then it'd release like an absolute dart. Seriously, it was like a straight shot. And I'm talking 20 yards, 25 yards away. And not like not 5 yards away. No. It's 20, 25 yards away. And he'd throw a bullet over his head, over his back, like that. So he'd do all kinds of tricks during practice. Watching Marino just practicing, forget the games. Obviously, he was great in the games. Practicing alone was magical, watching the dude. So Ronaldo smacks this lady, and she falls to the ground, and they got to go check her out, and Ronaldo freaks out. He noticed that he hit her, so he goes to check on her and see if she's good, and she was fine. She was fine, which, you hope so. But that ball was humming, okay? Because that dude can whack the hell out of the ball. So after he comes back out after practice and for the game, they give her a Cristiano Ronaldo jersey, a game jersey. So for getting hit, she ends up getting the game jersey, and she's got a picture of her taking a picture of the game jersey and all of that. And I thought to myself, how many people in the world would say, yeah, dude, no, hey, Cristiano, go ahead, bro. Here's my head. Hit me in the head with the ball. Kick it, whatever you want, and then give me a jersey, please. Yes. I'm sure there were people all over the world going, I don't mind getting hit in the head by Cristiano Ronaldo's soccer ball if he's going to give me a jersey after that. So I'm just wondering, those of you out there on the text line, 855-912-1056, on email, BigORadioShow@yahoo.com, on Twitter, Big O Show on Twitter, right here on the YouTube chat board. How many of you would be willing to get hit on the head by a Cristiano Ronaldo shot and then be given a jersey? How many of you would do that? I'm just wondering. How many of you would risk the injury, the concussion, the ringing of your bell, whatever it is? How many of you would do it? They have a clip of that throw warm up against Buffalo on YouTube, Big O. 40 yards. Yeah, there you go. I'd like to see it. Send me the link. Send it to me on my email. I'd like to see it. I used to watch it live all the time when I was covering Marino. It was so freaking awesome, dude, to watch him do all those kind of trick throws and things like that. And it was a dime, man. Like he'd hit you right in the center of the numbers. He would. I mean, deadly accurate, bro. He was more accurate than Ryan Tannehill was throwing it over his back and backwards. It's just one of those deals. What's scary is getting hit by a hockey puck. Yeah, well, no, that's different. That thing's frozen, bro. You ever felt of a hockey puck? Oh, yeah. We have one here, don't we? Hockey pucks are like This is a fake one, by the way. But it's this size, and they're frozen. Not only is it hard rubber, it's also frozen. You get hit by that, it's gonna knock your ass out, bro. You're done. You're history. NorCal says, no thanks. I'll take a bong rip. Yeah, but I don't think you're a soccer fan. I would have paid anything to watch Mr. Marino practice. Damn, would have loved it. You're lucky, Big O. I'm blessed, my brother. I am super blessed, my friend. That I know, Herman. Being able to do this for 31 years, outside of putting up with the idiots that I got to put up with, but outside of the idiots, yes, I'm very blessed to have done what I've done and be able to cover some of the things that I've been able to cover. The only thing that's left, my friend, is covering a Dolphins Super Bowl championship. I need that. I also would like to see the Panthers win. Oh, now that we have Inter, I would love to win the MLS Cup, man. I know it doesn't mean much to you guys, but I would love to see Inter Miami win the MLS Cup. That would be awesome. The Raiders will get revenge for last year. What are you talking about? On the Dolphins? That clip of Marino dart behind the back is crazy. Oh, you saw it, huh? Okay, nice job. Good for you. I told you it's crazy. I do not mislead on this show. I tells you the truth. Okay, baby? Good or bad. If I screw up, I'm going to tell you the truth why I screwed up. If something else, we'll tell you the truth, bro. Dennis Ramirez, what's up, Big O? Coming to hit that like button. Love your show. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you smashing the hell out of that like button. It means the world, man. All of you out there. Let's see. What else do we have? Don't be fooled by the Raiders. They beat the Chiefs last year to start the season. I'm not fooled by the Raiders. I know that they're frauds. I'm never fooled by Chucky, ever. I took a 4 fluorescent bulb on top of the head at a concert. Oh, fluorescent bulb. I'm sorry. I took a 4-inch fluorescent bulb on top of the head at a concert. Okay. I'm afraid as a Dolphin fan, Tua is going to be the 4th best QB in the division. No. What do you want me to tell you, my brother? I like Tua, and I think he's going to be a fantastic quarterback. And to already think that the 2 other kids that just got into the mix are going to surely be better than him, it's crazy. But whatever, man. If you want to drive yourself crazy without any facts whatsoever, go ahead and do it. R-Rod says, I went to Pace in the 80s. We used to go to St. Thomas after school and watch the Dolphins practice. Tony Egwis was part of the group. He ended up as the equipment manager for many years. Yes, I know Tony very well. Know Tony very, very well. Good dude, man. Good human being. Great human being. Tony Egwis. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here with hour number 4. I thank all of you out there, as always, for taking care of us. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.